Yes, indeed, y'all. Salute, 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 salute. Can you hear your why? Listen, I want everybody to know that today's program and season 2 of On Their Necks and Pat Talk is brought to you by Bloodline Films in collaboration with LWF Training. Our brother Juan J. Johnson believes that there is a lone wolf in all of you. So salute to everybody that's checked in with us. And especially if you need any firearms, go ahead and holler at our brother Juan J. Johnson, LWF Training, for all your firearms needs. And of course, it is also brought to you by From the Soil, the Black American docu-series where we travel all around the country highlighting the Black American grassroots advocates, culture, and cuisine in pursuit of reparative justice, y'all. So keep it locked for all of that that's coming down the pipeline as well, family. Salute to everybody that's checked in here. And also, if you're not familiar with our other platform, the Cook Up with Chef C, I need you to go ahead and get into that, y'all, because we will be live. Actually, I believe it's going to be next week. I'll probably do a live. If it's not next week, it'll be the following. But I want y'all to keep it locked for that. We are now at least at the bare minimum of subscriptions to go live and cook over there. So definitely make sure if you haven't already subscribed, go over there and do that now, ladies and gentlemen, all right? Now, with that being said, man, if you in the building, y'all holler at my little homie. You know we about to get the little homie chef in here. Let me go get little homie chef, man. If y'all in the building, sound off for the little homie chef, y'all.
Peace, 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 peace. Peace, peace, peace. Let me see who is in here. Let me see. If you're in the building, holla at your wife. Huh? If you're in the building, holla at your wife. Let me see who in here real quick. Let me see. Yes, indeed. We got Sister Queen DW in the building. What's happening, sis? What's happening with you? Let me see. Who else in here? Who else is in here? Hold on. We got Brother Greg in the building. Salute to Greg for checking in. Yes, indeed. Who else is in here? Who else? Yes, indeed. Cut the check. What's happening with you, man? Salute to Cut the check. Yes, indeed. Who else is in here? Let me see. I know we got the guard Q from Let's Talk 2 in here. God damn it, fuck. Salute to Brother Q for Let's Talk 2. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Who else is in here? Let me see. Alright.
Yeah, shout out to little homie chef, y'all. Shout out to the little god, man. You know, coming through, getting his little roll call in to see what's poppin', see what cooks done checked in. We got a good conversation for y'all today, family. 40 plus already in the building right now. We have a phenomenal conversation for y'all today. I know y'all here for the brunch service as well. You know, few things have been going on. I know y'all been peeping. You know, y'all saw your boy Ryan Garcia catch that L. He got bopped and dude slid him on the floor for a little bit. We're gonna touch on that. But really, man, before we go too far, let me go holler at the brother Q. I think my brother Q from Let's Talk 2. As a matter of fact, and let's get me from behind the avatar. Right? This season I said I'm not gonna be doing too heavy avatars. Let's get me on the screen. Let's get brother Q in the building. Brother Q from Let's Talk 2, man. What's happening with you, Q, man? Salute.
What's good, bro? Very interesting meal that we have cooked up today.
Yes, sir.
A bunch of layered conversations, and both conversations, whether it's boxing or something that's on the social conscious of everybody right now, it all roots back to this trigger word, and it speaks about the foundation and the understanding of systematic white supremacy. which a lot of times we don't always want to talk about, but it's something you can't get around because it's a system in place, and it's just how you want to be. Do you want to be a player of it? Do you want to be a participant of it? Do you understand it when it comes to your doorstep? And it's unfortunate situation, and you know, I think that people in the chat, I really hope that they're involved in the discussion because it isn't always a blanket statement. It isn't always cut and dry, black and white. It could just be perception. It could be your perception, Chef C, when you see it, and I could not see it like that, or vice versa. I could see it, and you'd be like, "Nah, it's not that." And I think that that's the emotional trick bag that it plays on us because of our history and the trauma that we faced being on Turtle Island.
Mm.
We got to understand it, and it's funny because it turns into in the case that we'll talk about, it turns into a grift. We've a lot of people from our lineage and others, tethers, and people that take advantage have used it on the grift one way. Now it was a grift the other way. So like, what's really going on? And it's like you really witnessing a movie being played right in front of your eyes. Sometimes you just got to take a step back and really just witness it, what's going on. But with that, man, very, very excited for today's show. This afternoon cook up. Little Chef came in and he just came with the appetizer.
You know how Little Chef.
Little Chef has a way of coming in and just, him and his hors d'oeuvres, man. Like just stop it, Little Chef. Like he comes, he does these drive-bys. We're gonna have him and Bag X do a show together one day.
That'll be a crazy ass show. Brother Bag and Little Chef, that'll be a damn problem. That's actually gonna be that would be a real problem. But nevertheless, Brother Q, you touched on something, and I wasn't even gonna go there today. You talked about some some people's lived experience, whether the way they interpret it, whether it be a Turtle Island or these United States. But I want to bring up something that I found very interesting earlier in the week. Anna Navarro was on CNN, okay, and she had the audacity to kind of compare or try to proximity the Latinos entering the United States illegally to some folks who have came here on ships, and try to say it's the same situation, alluding that both entered the space illegally, right? That's some treasonous shit there. And Anna Navarro has always been a very loud. She's the loud Latin. They tried to cook her up as opposed to being, the loud black sister all the time. They trying to get their own version of that, right, with Anna Navarro. So I want to bring this up, y'all. Y'all in the chat, let your boy know. Talk to me about this, man, because I found it a very, honestly, very disrespectful, quite frankly. Because you're talking about some people who were brought here against their will, illegally, and other folks who hopped on the bottom of fucking ships or banana boats to get over here, throwing everything, throwing everything to the wind just to get over here and see what that American life be about. It ain't the same thing. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into that, y'all. Fair use.
Years of neglect and letting people walk into here without any process at all, and now you're trying to gum up the works to keep them here.
A lot of them came in. A lot of them came in with parole. A lot of them came.
CNN polling shows 54% of Americans want Mr.
November polling
Garcia
showed Donald
back.
Trump won the
That's
election.
CNN polling.
November
public
polling,
is shifting.
All right.
We are a sovereign nation, and you cannot just come into our country illegally whenever the heck you want, because we can't do it to any other country on the face of this
Asylum
earth.
is a legal right.
If you come in illegally, you have to leave. Americans are tired of that. We do not have unlimited
You
resources.
know who was here
We have to
illegally
care
with a
for our own people
deportation order?
first.
Marco Rubio's
Okay,
grandfather.
all right. We're
not talking about
let's-
Marco Rubio.
Oh, now
Anna.
we're not? Now that's
No,
not relevant?
it's not
No,
relevant.
I'm talking
It's not
about
relevant
Marco
to this
Rubio because
conversation
Marco
at
Rubio
all.
used to be an advocate for TPS for Venezuelans, and Marco Rubio used to be
I'm not
an advocate for Nicaraguans and
Cubans.
Cubans. No, I know you're not.
If you come into this country illegally, you are going home. Simple as that. We do not have unlimited resources.
I think a lot of Americans
to take care of other people.
There's a hell of a lot of
people,
people, other than the black people who were brought here as slaves, who came to this country illegally.
They're not the same as black people who were brought here against our will.
That's exactly what I just said.
Let's marinate. Look how she tried to shoehorn that in, y'all. That's a fact. Where my sister DW at? Call ICE on Anna Navarro. Get her the fuck up out of here. Somebody got to send her off. You understand me? This is the nonsense that I'm talking about here. So, people are coming over illegally. They're jumping through hoops. Right? They're doing all type of wild shit. Some of them overstaying visas, etc. Never going through the completing the process, become legalized citizens here. Right? And now a lot of them are getting packed the fuck up. You got to go. You ain't got to go, but you got to get the hell up out of here. Right? We're seeing the cost of rent, even purchases of homes starting to go down. Because a lot of these folks were here illegally getting vouchers, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Making it very affordable for them to live in places that we once lived, y'all. Before we were eminent domain, etc., red line and all that other shit up out of there. Right? Anna Navarro tries to say that the experience is the same. How dare she? How dare she? But what say you, Brother Q? I mean,
man,
did you see this? Did you see this clip?
You know what's funny is I saw it and I overlooked it at first, and then I seen it about 8-9 hours later. I thought about it, and then I know what's going on behind the scenes. And you know, Abby Phillips during the live broadcast, she cut the break. Anna Navarro, we know she's a contributor on The View. She is a registered Republican. So when you look at, it's a whole bunch of layers when you look at CNN and what they're doing, their posturing, and how bad they're doing in the ratings. But this particular point that Anna Navarro brought up, which is wrong, we've noticed that this is a Democratic Party talking point the last few years. We're comparing the Black Americans who were kidnapped, some of them was kidnapped, brought over here against their will, with the saying from the Democratic Party that we're a nation of immigrants.
Come on.
This has been going on for a while, like the last 2 years, right? And her saying it, you know, a lot of people have tried to justify it by calling the brother out because he's a particularly Republican Party contributor on the show, not knowing the history of that. Regardless of what we may have seen change within the parties, Black people started the Republican Party.
Come on.
So when you look at this, we have to really, really, really call this bullshit out. Call it out when people say stuff like this. This is not true. Anna Navarro should apologize. She should apologize to every Black American who should be offended by what she said. Abby Phillips, from what I understand, she's getting slaughtered on X for this. Abby Phillips, who is an immigrant. She's a descendant of an immigrant. She's somebody that a lot of people will call a tether. However, she owes an apology as well. Because, see, these people know. Anybody that knows, if you're from the diaspora, we have to get one thing straight. Nobody has a problem with you if you're from the diaspora. Your experience is unique in its own way, and Black Americans' experience is unique in its own way.
That part.
Just don't disrespect Black Americans who literally you're here on their back. You're here off the work that they put in to make some form of equality in this land where you're looked at as an American, regardless of how sometimes people look through things with a racial lens. You're here. You fled your country. You or your parents or their parents fled their country to come over here to make a better life for yourself. Why? because the Black Americans have staked a claim that was rightfully theirs in this country. And you've been here surviving off of their hard work and labor.
That part. So,
So
hey,
it's
go ahead.
but
See, my fault.
so it's a slap in the face, and we've seen this trend lately. We've seen the trend lately where we are pushing back. We are learning to de-alienate ourselves from people that have been divisive to our struggle since the inception of this country, since when forever. So we have to not take this stuff not serious. When we talk about boycotts and calling people out, Abby Phillips, Anna Navarro, they need to be called out. This is very incorrect, very misleading, very disrespectful. Sometimes when we see people disrespect us, sometimes they do it right in your face.
That part. And hey, real quick, salute to our brother Nico. I see you, Nico, coming through, man. Salute to our brother Nico checking in. Salute, brother Nico. Good to see you, man. You know what it is? You can hear the smite, the angst in her voice, right? That is not a woman coming from a place of care, concern, or gratitude, right? This is an entitled, rice and bean eater right here. This one is like, listen, y'all lucky. Y'all just did it first. That's nothing to tote your horn about. That's what she's telling this dude. And the thing that annoys me about some of these cats, I'm going to say this. Some of these cats don't have the understanding, right, to delineate appropriately in this kind of exchange. Because unfortunately, his default reaction was to go to a flat black concept, right? Everybody didn't come from Africa, right? This is another. So he's a closet panty, although he's trying to stand on something. So I can't knock him. But if you're gonna delineate, it's a way to delineate. Shout out to my brother Negro, delineationology. It's a way to delineate. And in this exchange, you got a honorary immigrant in Anna Navarro who believes that she's more qualified, right, to even speak in this moment.
And that, Chef C, pardon me for cutting you off, bro. That is the complexity of who we are. That is what makes us who we are so unique, so different than a lot of people. I'm quite sure there's other ethnicities throughout this world who are unique in their own way, but that's what makes us so unique in this land, is that we are the only people from a holistic standpoint who are not immigrants,
Come on.
who are part indigenous, part prisoners of war.
Come on.
We're a smorgasbord of a whole bunch of different things. And that alone makes us special. And this goes back to what we all talk about when people mention reparations and being treated with some equity. And this is why the claim is so impactful, because Anna Navarro should have never been able to say what she said. She said it with conviction. She said it like she, as they say, it was a flex. She said it like she was on a panel flexing. She has this belief because the people that she's around, and I'll call the view out. Whoopi may do it every now and then. We're checking people and letting people know distinctly who we are, but it's not said enough. It's not said enough. It's not explained enough because people are so caught up with the glitter, gloss, and floss, and not caught up in the complexity of our ethnicity.
That part, brother Q, and you know, and listen, I mean, again, that's why I'm saying certain shit, certain environments, you got to drop the political correctness shit sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Like in that moment, that's when you get ignorant,
Yeah.
as they say, right? You get ignorant in that moment because she again, and this is the problem with these these model minorities and these honoraries. She doesn't even feel that she owes this man any respect.
No. And he should have told her after they went to break, like, I understand he has a brand, but this is offensive. He should have said to her, listen, I'm not going to be on the panel with her no more.
Bingo.
These are the
That
type
part.
of, you know, we love to say that we're 10 toes down. 10 toes down is standing on real principles. It's not, you know, low hanging fruit where if she would have called him a specific word, and we'll discuss that later, if she would have called him a specific word, that's easy. It's easy to have a whole bunch of people behind you when somebody violates you. But really having standing 10 toes down is when sometimes you have to, we discussed this, if you want to be a truth teller, you have to stand on what you're standing on the truth in spite of the attacks, the personal attacks against you, in spite of the numbers, because everybody ain't gonna get on that ship.
That's right.
Those that may believe in organized religion, everybody didn't get on that ark with Noah.
Come on, Q. Come on with it.
Everybody didn't get on that ark with Noah. Those who believed in what he was saying, they got on that ark with him. Those who didn't, if you believe in it, they drowned.
Right.
So that is, and I'm using that as a comparison, that when you a truth teller and you on that lonely road, it get lonely. As they said in Five Heartbeats, it's lonely at the top, baby.
That part, Q. Let me put some respect on my brother Nico. Nico, I appreciate you for putting on to the kitchen real quick, contributing to the program. Salute to my brother Nico. Rock that next behind. Appreciate you, brother Nico. Appreciate you. If you'd like to contribute to the program, $FTS49, $FTS49, or Venmo at From the Soil if you'd like to contribute to the program. We need our sponsor for today as well. To become a sponsor will be a $25 contribution. To become the co-sponsor, same amount, and to be the sole sponsor of today's broadcast, you have to surpass the $25 contribution. All right, let's keep this thing going. I'm going to play a little bit more of this because, again, this is not a woman who's backing down, and she hasn't issued an apology at a later time, y'all. This is a couple days old, family. Right? But I wanted to show this to y'all because I don't know how many people are up to speed with this thing.
Said there is a
There is a big difference.
That's exactly what I just said.
Difference.
That's exactly what I just.
Look at that. Oh, black and brown where?
BIPOC. People
Help me out, family. Cheers, 80 plus in the building already. Black and brown coalition where? And you know what? Believe it or not, y'all, right? And again, let me say this real quick. If it don't apply, let it fly. For you sensitive folks in that's listening right now. If it don't apply, let it fly. That's all I'm gonna say with that. But look at the picture right now. I want y'all to look at his face and look at her. Right? Now, that's a tale of two cities, or a tale of two cultures, or a tale of two histories. Right? And you're looking at the black guy who has a reaction in his face as if, hey, I accepted you and your people. Open arms. Welcome. Right? I'm glad. Listen, I didn't even mind sacrificing. And this is a bloodline thing for anybody that gets it. And if you're here for the first time, because I didn't tell you, my name is Chef C. And I'm the host for today with my brother Q from Let's Talk 2. And the rest of the brothers are going to be tapping in shortly. But the overall cultural, historic output has always showed a welcoming reception from a black man to any other ethnicity for the most part. And not only to then have it later thrown back in his face like, you did what? And so what? Who gives a fuck? I'm here now. That she's giving the I'm here now face to him. Look at her. Okay, I hear about you coming over here on slave ships. Whoop-de-fucking-do. That happened then, it ain't happened now. So what? Look. That's history right there we're looking at. And a lot of black folks around the country had that same exact freaking face he's got on right now. When you wonder why we hear about a black and brown coalition but never see it. Right? We never see the black and brown coalition having any real impact or even formulating in some kind of progressive matter that helps black folks. We see the black and brown coalition helping Anna Navarro, her people, right? We saw in this last administration, family, we saw how many black folks, and we still see some of these quote unquote black folks. Shout out to your girl, right? Jasmine Crocker shit. Your boy Hakeem Jeffries. Your boy Cory Booker. We still see these quote unquote black folks crashing out for immigrants.
And all three of them have said the statement that she said, that we are a nation of immigrants. All three of them, who, from what we understand about Jasmine, Cory, and Hakeem Jeffries, all three of them would be what we consider FBA, ADOS, Foundational Black Americans. All three of them. When you don't understand your ethnicity in its totality and you allow your ideology to change who you are, these are the type of statements that will happen.
That part.
And even Shemichael, he actually got what Paul Mooney has once dubbed, he got his nigga wake up call.
Nigga.
This is a sick Negro.
Come on.
Because at the end of the day with him and his facial expression and why he's so upset, she spoke something that hurt his core. It hurt the very ethnicity that he has in him. He can't escape who he is. He can't escape the DNA. He can't escape the core. Even though you may not believe in racial politics, when somebody speaks to your core,
I'm with it, Q.
as what most people say, your soul, you feel that shit. When they speak for it, you feel it. And when they speak against it, it hurts you. It's like somebody's, and I don't want to use the example, but somebody spitting in your face. Somebody talking about your mother. But when somebody speaks to your core of who you are against it, that shit hurt.
Shout out to fucking Q, man.
Professionalism that you think you got. And if you're not ready for it and you don't expect it, when you have this type of ideology thinking, oh, this is a colleague, whether I agree with her or not, we're colleagues, we're on the quote unquote liberal panel and we're both Republican.
Come on, Q.
Out the window with what she said. Who told you what she about? She has an ideology that you may align with, but she's showing you that she thinks that she and other people were all immigrants together. Some black immigrants here.
Real quick, pardon me real quick. First and foremost, I want to salute my brother ABM, man. Brother ABM, man, if you got time, man, check in, man. Salute our brother ABM. Salute. Let me see who else just checked in, man. So good to catch y'all. Salute to T for checking in. What's happening with you, T? Salute. Let me see who else done checked in, man. Monetize the Hate is crazy. That's a fact, Bantu. I see. Come with that talk that they ban the Bantu. Salute to Bantu for checking it. Listen, here's the thing that I need to highlight, right, Brother Q? Now you touched on the colleague perspective, right? But guess what? We're also talking about a Latino woman now, right? A Latin woman who also knows that, who understands the climate. And what do I mean by that? She understands the climate that on the other side of the aisle, there's a party that is literally fighting for her to be in the position that she's in right now. And guess what? This young man, although they're supposed to be two Republicans, Anna and himself, he essentially just got sunned. She just made him a little boy in that moment. Because guess what? Sir Michael, in that moment, couldn't say with his chest what he needed to say. He had to be politically correct, and she was allowed to give that all of that shit to him, sass him down to the floor.
She literally did the
Sunding.
She did everything of playing identity politics with him. And it's crazy because when you know her as being a quote unquote Republican, she did everything that the Democratic Party is about.
Come on.
She used her womanhood.
Come on.
She used the sassiness with the head and hand gestures, and she attacked him racially.
Directly, straight up.
All three things that the party uses to promote an attack. She would have never attacked him with that if he would have Van Jones. Because Van Jones at that moment would have agreed with her. Now later he might have would have came back and stood on business, but he would have agreed with her. She used, and this is the game that they play. And this is the game that CNN plays. And CNN, I just got to say it, man. CNN ratings are terrible.
Absolutely.
And what they're doing, if you notice how Scott Jennings been on that panel, kicking ass and taking names from a political standpoint.
Everybody.
They're using Scott Jennings as a way to get their ratings. This is why they got so many Republicans on their panel, because they know that the Democratic Party's messaging is so bad that they have to have Republicans who believe in what they believe in come on there and help their fledgling ratings.
Right.
And help this network. So with this controversy, and like you said, nobody has apologized for their blatant disrespect yet. This will help Abby Phillips' show in the long run, because now all eyes is going to be tuned on if she'll ever give an apology, if Anna Navarro would ever give an apology. I won't be surprised if Anna Navarro, when she goes on The View on Monday, she may apologize on The View, though. But that's all strategically as well.
Right. Well, let me play some more of this. I'm going to play this the rest out, and then we're going to go to the next subject matter. Salute to the 90 plus in the building. I see some folks on X started unfollowing your boy. Salute to y'all, whoever that is. I'm going to fuck. I don't care. Kill, why am I supposed to care shit about that? Matter of fact, if you're in here and you dislike us, hit the dislike button on my channel, goddammit. Hit the dislike. Fuck you. Huh? That's the type of time I'm on. Shit. My brother Angry Black, ABM. Let me drop this link for you, ABM. ABM, let me drop the link for you to check.
So they started just following you?
Yeah, somebody started unfollowing me on X, and but that's good. I mean, that's part of the process. I like that kind of shit, honestly. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. Let me play some more of this, y'all.
Michael. Look and acting dick.
Look at her. Wow. That's your black and brown. And look, That's how Negroes look half the time. When they find out that, oh, the spicy tamale, she can sleep with you, she can fuck you down, do all types of salsa merengue with you niggas. Huh? You know, Rico Suave, that motherfucker could do all type of fly shit, show you how to do all of this fly shit and shit on your silly ass because you want an exotic. Shout out to my brother ABM for checking in, man. ABM, holla at your boy, man. What's happening with you, family?
Yo, what's good, man? What's good, QA? Salute to the patriarchy.
Yes,
thanks
sir.
for having me on and all that. Hey, man, listen, I don't know what year is going to have to be before black people, and I don't care what you consider yourself, conservative, liberal, whatever, before you understand, the Hispanic community is extremely racist.
Come on.
You know, you can try to hide behind Republican. I'm a Republican and I'm a conservative and all that. These people don't like your black ass. And I'm tired of seeing, I've been tired of seeing black men always feel like they have to do this no matter what you consider yourself. You have to be the tame one. You have to be the one to never lose control. Like Andrew Tate would have never allowed that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
When do you ever see people do this to Ben Shapiro or what's the other guy? The other racist dude always doing these
Nick Fuentes.
And there's one more. The one that looked like Beavis and Butthead.
Tucker Carlson?
No, not Tucker. The other dude, they always do this, like they debating the college kids and all that. You never see people son them.
Yeah. I forgot the dude name though. Go ahead, brother AB.
You feel me? You never see people son them. They say what they gotta say. They don't give a damn how it comes out. You don't see them getting son like that.
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk. There you go.
Yeah.
You never see that shit happen to them. You know, it's time for black men to just start getting some balls out here, honestly. At like Doug, stop allowing this shit.
Talk that talk.
Fuck if they have you on the show anymore. Fuck that. Who cares? CNN? Fuck CNN. Nobody watches that shit anyway. You understand? Because this is like Q said, nobody watches CNN. So, they got to have these little controversial debates and shit up here just to pull people in. So why give a damn if they boot you off and say they don't want you back no more? Fuck them. That shit ain't worth you looking like a sucker like this. And all of this black and brown and you know what I mean? We're gonna unite under this umbrella. We're gonna unite under that umbrella. It doesn't work. It hasn't worked, and it's never gonna work.
Come on.
You don't have to kiss people's ass to be a Republican. Y'all know me. I'm conservative. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I'm not a Republican. I'm conservative. I wouldn't play that shit. Shorty would have got a hand in her face. Shorty would have got a finger in her fucking face. But these suit and tie Negroes, they feel like that a pat on the head from the white conservatives is what matters most. Don't get out of line. Be good little clean-cut Negroes, and everything's going to be okay.
Right.
And that shit is played out. Niggas been, I was born in 81, dude. I've been hearing that shit all my life. I'm tired of hearing that, man.
And to further speak to what your point you're making is, I don't think people really understand who Scott Jennings is. Scott Jennings is on that panel. Scott Jennings served in the Bush the son's administration. Scott Jennings is a staunch conservative. Scott Jennings sit there and schools this panel night in and night out. It's not even funny no more. And you'll find yourself, if you watched Abby's show, you'll find yourself watching the show for Scott. So Anna Navarro clearly knew what she said to Shamichael, she would never say to Scott.
Thank you, because that's exactly what I was getting ready to say. There's 1,000 different little YouTube shorts with Scott Jennings. Watch any one of them. You never see anybody do that to him. See, this is on black men. This is why it's good that there's a YouTube channel called Pat Summit, Black Patriarchy. Motherfuckers have forgot all about that. This shit is on black men at the end of the day. We allow people to disrespect us. You can complain about the Democrats all you want, and you can complain about the Boule and the the little Uncle Tom niggas all you want. But hey, man, we all do it. Here's a conservative black man. Here's a conservative Republican. And he's doing the same shit. Let me not piss anybody off. Fuck that.
Come on. Cook these niggas.
They don't play this shit with white men. It just simply doesn't fucking happen. You allow people to disrespect you. We do this way too much as black men. We allow people to fucking disrespect us. God, I mean, I'm sure he has other sources of income. Do you really need your little appearances on CNN that much? That you put up with this shit?
Watch this, brother ABM, and salute to the 100+ in here. Oh, matter of fact, real quick, the wolf, ladies and gentlemen, is in the building. Brother Juan J. Johnson. Brother Juan J. Johnson, I will come back to you real quick, sir. Give me a moment here. What we have seen, brother ABM, and I just want to touch on what what you're saying. We have watched guys sacrifice their masculinity for position and proximity to whiteness. They immediately shrink to beta just to be able to go back on platforms like this. Because ultimately in those guys, and that's an insecure thing, and it has some other deeper rooted shit, but he doesn't understand what him being on this platform serves as when it's projected to the world. In that moment, you stand as a man. You have to have the ability to say fuck you at any time. You must have it. But what he allowed her in that very moment is to extract whatever little piece of manhood he had left in him, just so he could stay on the panel. Well, hold on. Farrakhan, give me a goddamn second, brother ABM. Farrakhan.
Scared to death Negroes are my enemy.
Scary Negro.
See, the house Negro was always like that.
Come on. God damn it. This is the problem. Salute to the 100+ in here. We can't have Negroes, hoified bitch Negroes, going on platforms pretending as if they represent the heterosexual masculine man.
You told me he was mine, Massa. You said when we was bringing him back from auction. Yours.
Yeah. No. Listen, if you not, this is my thing. If you're going to be a brother and go on these platforms and you let somebody check you like this, don't say you speaking for us. Don't do it. You get the fuck off and say, Massa, I'd rather him be a certified coon. So at least I know where to put you, but you try to be masculine presenting. Nah, bro, you ain't got it.
And for you guys in the chat, I'm going to give you an example of what happens when you try to do what she did to him to a white man. Remember a couple weeks ago, Angela Rye was up there.
Come on, wake that up, Q. You need that. You got the clip, Q. Please tell me you got the clip.
I don't have the clip right now. And damn. Kevin O'Leary touched her hand. And he touched her hand in a way to basically, he wanted to get his point across and she was talking. And she said, "Don't touch me." And he checked it from the door.
Immediately. Spun the block back. Who you talking to?
And he had to tell her specifically, I wasn't trying to touch you. Like, you wasn't somebody I was trying to touch. In a way of it was letting her know he was not touching her to touch her affectionately, touch her to disrespect her. He let her know immediately. That's manhood. That's letting it be known that I don't care about your little platform. I'm going to check you and I'm going to nip it in the bud. And it's going to go exactly the way that I wanted to, because what she was trying to do in that moment, Angela Rye, whether she was trying to Me Too him, whether she was trying to play him out, whether she was trying to extract masculinity from him, he let it be known, you ain't going to be doing that to me.
That part. Well, you know what, brother Q? I'm gonna go to the matter of fact, ABM, give me a moment. Let me go to my brother Wolf, man. He done checked in here. Brother Wolf, brother Juan J. Johnson, sir. How are you this afternoon, sir?
I am well, man. I'm good. I just got in. Got to go back out soon, but I figured I'd come through here for a hot second.
Okay.
Drop some mail off, make some deliveries, and keep on going.
That's right. Yes, sir. Are you up to speed so far, sir?
Well, this last part I am, and my mind went to, I think, Bakari Sellers put his hands on Scott Jenkins, and Scott said, "Don't touch me." On that same panel. And letting him know, look, we can have all the conversations you want, but you can't touch me.
That part.
Okay. No more than what's that? You say Angela Rye did the same thing. Said, "Don't touch me." You know, what Navarro did was so disrespectful, but it's to be expected. Because again, I say what what's that? ABN says.
ABM, yeah, he in the building.
You know,
your mic is going out, brother Wolf. Hold on, let me see.
Can you hear me?
There you go. You live. There you go.
Yeah, we're gonna have to grow some scrotum sacks. Keep it 100.
This is a sick Negro. This nigga's scared.
Because here it is, and again, we're gonna have to take the L, but we, as a community,
who gonna take the L?
Where there's a root, there's an offspring.
Nah. Hold on. Nah, don't start that shit. Nah, I can't hold that L. Salute to my sister Star in the building, sis. But hey, I can't. Nah, Wolf.
Chef C, we got to go to ABM. Who are we taking the L for this ABM?
Shit, I'm not.
There you go. Yeah.
It would have never been me. You know what I'm saying? And, hey man, listen. I tell my wife this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you gotta have a little bit of nigga in you, man.
You gotta have that nigga necessary. That nigga is necessary.
Fuck that, because this type of shit has to stop. That fucking clean cut Negro shit. That shit, as far as I'm concerned, been played out in the 90s, man.
Come on.
Black men are going to have to stop being afraid to offend people and afraid to lose a fucking position here and there, dude. This is the age of social media. You can start your own fucking podcast, dude. You don't. I follow Homeboy on Twitter. I know he got a couple 100,000 followers. You probably make more fucking money.
And respectfully, he has good perspective.
Yeah, he's not a dummy at all. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter what you want to call yourself. You, as black men, you always see this type shit. This is why I was, remember a couple months ago when they had Cameron on CNN and Abby was interviewing him and he was acting a fool? And people were saying, well, why would he go on CNN and do that? See, I wasn't mad about it because Cam knew exactly what they was trying to do and he just didn't fall for it. And that's what I mean by sometimes you got to have a little nigga in you. because they wanted him to throw Diddy under the bus. He wasn't going to do it. So instead, okay, I'm going to just get over here and act like a nigga for a few minutes.
I don't want no trouble. Toby be good nigga for massa. Good nigga. Don't send Toby away. Toby be good for your hand, boss. Good for your hand, massa. It's all right, Toby.
The nigga is necessary.
And to me, him being, quote, niggerish is better than this shit that I just watched right here. And, I'll land right there.
Well, let me go back to the Wolf, Brother Wolf. You are inclined to believe that the L has to be held somewhere. Please elaborate, sir.
I say we, because I'm looking at a generation of our parents before us who created this environment of being this one big Negro tent, this one big people of color tent. So again, us now, we are delineating and we're checking it, but this stems from your baby boomers, your silent generation, and the great generation. It stems from that. People who were just kept making concessions and kept subscribing to that boy, stay in your place. See, she can say that, and that whole panel can react that way. Because if you think about it, Scott didn't say nothing. Neither the rest of the two on the panel. They let them go at it.
Sure did.
He done got out of his place now. And she felt that she could put him in his place. Not just put him in his place, she felt indignant, like, how dare you?
Picture worth 1,000 words. Look at that.
Yeah,
Just look at it.
But that comes from a generation of our parents, our grandparents, our aunties and uncles who would allow for this disrespect. Thank God for the some Xers and the Zs and millennials who realize, you know what, we're not going for that. But again, as a collective, it's the old heads who put us here, and that's why I say the L is on us. Because again, I know a lot of foreigners, immigrants, who have the same visceral disdain that she has. She wasn't just checking him. She was showing her visceral disdain wrapped in some type of coalition. Yeah, so
she in that moment, she was the voice of the immigrants.
Millions. She spoke for millions.
She spoke for millions toward that one black. But here's what I will say before we get into our next clip and move on. I will give the young man a little benefit of the doubt, although he almost got 100% sunned out for the episode. He tried to fight back a little bit later. So let's play this, y'all.
That's exactly what I just said.
Let me just share my
Other than the black
Anna and share my
There you go. Get your chest up.
Share Michael. I think you actually misheard what she. I think you misheard what she said.
No, he purposely misheard.
She said.
I purposely
Yes, she
misheard.
did.
So now
But this is the problem. These melanateds. This melanated thing right here. Corny as fuck anyway. She needs a panel in order for her show to be decent. She's corny as shit individually. Absolutely horrible. But again, this is where the muzzling comes in. The young man started to get some chest about him. Right? He said, okay, now, all right, enough is enough. And then this melanated, some folks are going to say, that's a black sister. That's a sister right there. Shut your dumb ass up. Came through to throw the wrench in there, to jump that young man. Get him right back down as his chest start to go up and stand up for himself. We see this so much. And I want to advise any woman out here, when you see your man want to man up, let him fucking man up. Step
Just
aside.
get out the way.
You understand? Get out the way. Don't do that to that man. Because she tried to break him all the way down. So this is why I said, all right, she didn't fully 100% sun him out. All right, because he started to get some chest about him. But then this chick right here tried to come in with the back kick. Snuff him. They try to jump him. United Nations, this nigga. Okay, let's play some more.
You're in my
Share,
brain?
Michael, listen to me for just a second.
Is that where we're going?
You
Share,
think
Michael,
I would
listen to me
say
for a
I will have
second.
advocated
Anna,
for black
please
people
stop.
my entire life and
Anna,
say something like that?
Anna,
Give me a
Because
damn
you've
break.
advocated for black
Anna,
people,
please
great.
stop.
Congratulations. Last time I checked, I'm black. You're not.
Okay, Share, Michael.
That's right. I'm Latino and my people are being racially
It is-
profiled.
Why did she say anything to Anna? Y'all noticing that, right? That's why I'm playing this. Y'all notice she's not trying to check Anna. How many is C bugging? She's not saying a word to Anna Navarro. She going at the dude.
But why would she?
Women should be hollering at women. There's a saying, women should check women, right? That's the saying. ABM, I mean, Brother Wolf, that's what I heard. Women supposed to check women, right?
If the boy is out of his place, who checks him?
Who gonna check
Watch
me?
this.
Boo?
Think about that panel. Look, if you saw, but look at the makeup. The white panelists didn't say a word the whole time. They just sat back here and watched like how it's gonna play out.
But white,
right?
I want to back up what you said. White folk got on cold in that moment in a heartbeat.
They took
And
the
she
pill.
and
They
you
took the
notice
pill.
you notice something that Anna Navarro said, and this speaks to something that's so profound. I've heard Bernie Sanders say it. I've heard a lot of people, Caucasians, say it. You don't need to tell me that you advocated for black people your whole life if that's who you are. She said in that moment of confrontation, when he said, I'm black, she said, I advocated for black people my whole life, and my people are being racially profiled. If she was an ally to what we would say the black flight, the black causes, she would not have to repeat that. I've heard Bernie Sanders say it many a time. Well, I was there with King. No, you wasn't. You marched with him, but you wasn't part of his movement. And that's the whole objective of when John Henry Clark so eloquently said, we have no allies. Because if you have real allies, they're going to show it. This whole system, going back to the opening, Chef, say, this system puts us in a compromised position. And nobody who has benefited from that compromised position for us, whether they're Latino, whether they're white, whether they're black, whether they're one of them Boule Negroes, nobody wants change to that system. The only people who wants change to that system is those who the system is against. And this is a major, major problem for people like Shemichael, who thinks that he don't have to deal with what he has to deal with. You're going to have to deal with that, buddy. You want to go on these panels, you got to always remember the underlining, I won't even call it racism, the underlining fact of, boy, stay in your place.
Boy. Yeah.
And they'll use, and this is where they use a lot of us, like the brother ABM said, in certain instances, in certain circumstances, they use us for our sexual desires. They use that as a weakness. We've seen it. And in this instance, at the end of the day, she tried to say to him, you're an immigrant. Your people is immigrants.
She sent that nigga right back to Africa.
Yeah.
She didn't even ask him if he was from there. She immediately put him on a deportation back to Africa. Immediately. Got him up out of there. But Brother Wolf, sir, we're gonna get ready to wrap. Matter of fact, let me play a little bit more of this. We're gonna close it out. I'm just looking at the dude get jumped right now, honestly.
It is.
And do I have to remind you the history of my people?
Share,
Do
I
you want to go there?
I
Do you
don't.
really
Okay,
want to go
we're
there?
going to go to break. Raul, we're going to go to break. Raul Reyes, thank you very much for joining us. Everybody else, hang tight.
History was not
We'll be right back.
erased when I was studying history, like the
Look at her. Look at this weirdo. She's a fucking
And
weirdo.
You said she's immigrant?
Yeah, my understanding, she's as they say, a tether. they say. They say she's a tether. Let me bring the brother Dr. Short in the building, sir. Brother Dr. Randy Short. Salute, sir. How are you this afternoon?
White Jesus loves me. And he loves all of us.
White man.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Absolutely, sir. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and fast track it to the main course. And then we got all the brothers up in here. So that means we will continue to cook. Salute and much appreciation to our brother ABN for coming through and putting on and keeping the lights on. Most definitely. Salute to our brother ABN. Much appreciation to you, family. We appreciate you for putting on, family. We appreciate it. Let's get this thing going here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is another thing I want to touch on real quick before we get there, because this sets us up just the way we need to. But I got 2 questions for the chat. Well, I got 1 question for the chat, okay? 100 men versus 1 gorilla. 100 men. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm going to go to all the brothers on the panel, man. 100 men versus 1 gorilla. Okay? Now, let me make it make sense for everybody. Okay? We talking about a gorilla here. Killers, gorillas, a lot of people think they got Godzillas. But let me bring this up here. We talking about a gorilla. A gorilla against 100 men. Now, I said this to somebody before, y'all. I said this before to somebody that a gorilla could whoop a grizzly bear ass. Right? And they looked at me like, Chef, come on, man. Here you go with all of the bullshit. A grizzly bear would murder a gorilla. But a gorilla, man, if we understand anything about a gorilla, first and foremost, the Joker is, he's as strong as about 9 to 12 men, depending on what type of silverback gorilla you coming across. Okay? Put you down with the easiness. Sit you all the way down. Okay? And first and foremost, we got Negroes who won't even get on the same page about something. You think it's going to be 100 Negroes line up against a gorilla? At least you might as well take off at least 60 of them. Them niggas ain't going to be a part of it. We got to keep that a buck. At least 60 Negroes will not get involved with trying to line this gorilla up. So the question is to the family, can it be done? 100 men cooking a gorilla. What say you? Matter of fact, let me go to the war. Whoa, what say you, sir? Is it possible for 100 men to body bag a gorilla, sir? What say you?
Absolutely.
No weapons. Hold on. No weapons.
You
no
keep
nothing.
Don't need no weapons.
No weapons, no nothing. Just pure strength.
I mean, what we talking about? Dudes, right? Swole dudes on them roids. They could beat anybody.
100 dudes taking on 1 gorilla. Yeah.
The gorilla only got 2 legs, 2 arms. Once you get him down, you start eye gorging. He bites you, you bite him. Yeah. All 100 take a bite out of him.
Oh, hold on. Nah. You think 100 men is going to put a silverback gorilla out the way?
Absolutely.
Negro, please. Didn't somebody tell you this was an all-white party? Huh? Someone get this jigaboo away from me.
Hey, I can't see.
I got 100 soldiers.
Okay. Elaborate.
I'm talking about just trained killers.
Okay.
100 rangers. Just trained killers. I mean, people would forget the weapons. Just knowing how to take down somebody. That gorilla's going down. I mean that. And just because you scared, say you're scared. If you're scared, say you're scared. Okay. Wow.
Hold on. Hold on. ABM, man. Holler at me, man. 100 Negroes against one silverback prime gorilla. What say you? Niggas catching the fade or getting faded out? ABM, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm going with the gorilla, man.
There you go. Come on. Make it make sense. Wake that up. Why you going with the gorilla?
A monkey could break your jaw with a slap. What is a gorilla going to do? Nah, I'm sorry, dude. Nah, I don't think it's going to happen. 100? I don't know. Man. I'm sorry. Maybe I watched too many Planet of the Apes movies. I don't know, man.
That's what y'all doing. You watching the movie.
Caesar got me shook.
See, we gotta understand. How many motherfuckers done had their face chewed off by a little chimp? Easy work. Little chimp pulling niggas' faces away. So what you think this silverback gorilla going? Look at the teeth. They got my understanding. They biting down with either 900 or 9,000 pounds of strength. They biting down on you. That's a nigga. That's one nigga per. Easy.
This nigga's scared.
If you talking about 1-on-1, yeah, but I'm talking about 100 to 1. Give me my 100 against that 1.
Oh man.
Listen, let me go to the chat, man. Hold on. What you say, Q? Who catching the fade? The 100 Negroes or the gorilla?
One thing about Pat Talk, man, we gonna have our laughs, man, and the mere fact that this has gone viral this week, it's hilarious to me. This scenario is hilarious to me. Ain't no 100 men, not the men of today, taking no gorilla.
Line them up. Put me out there.
Because I hate to say it.
Hey, Wolf. That'll be the last of the Wolf we see.
Unless they took
ain't no more Wolf sounds going off.
And this is the plug. They must take these 100 men must take lone wolf firearm training, because the first 20 gonna be scared.
No. Hold on. This is what I'm saying. See, now y'all want to go get the super Negroes. I said, listen, I didn't say no weapons. I didn't say niggas want to get these fucking universal soldiers and shit. No, take a regular Negro, 100 regular Negroes walking around.
So you keep on. I just say just give me 100 men. I'm gonna find
All right. Keep the 100 super soldiers, but no weapons. They still getting bodied by this gorilla. I don't care what no. Listen, on Planet the Apes, everybody saw Planet the Apes. Planet the Apes had the coon gorilla. Now they could probably take the coon gorilla that turned against the other gorillas, but not no straight wild up down for the cause ass. That motherfucker put you out of the. It's over.
One person, not 100.
It's time to go to the coon buster. It's time to go to the coon buster.
Let me go that. Where brother Dr. Short at? Brother Dr. Short, are you listen? Can 100 Negroes, sir? Can 100 Negroes take on a silverback prime gorilla, sir? What say you, sir? Where's Dr. Short? Dr. Short, are you there, sir? Can 100 Negroes? All right. Matter of fact, let's do this. Can 100 FBAs take on? Hey, can 100 FBAs take on this silverback gorilla?
Put a yes or in the chat.
Oh, okay. You had my mic shut.
Oh, I did. I didn't even notice that, sir. What say you, brother Dr. Short? Can 100 Negroes take a gorilla? What say you, sir?
Well, it depends on how well they get along.
No weapons.
No, well, white Jesus is a great enough weapon. Now, you said no weapons. What about tools?
Nothing. Just straight up.
See, that's not hunting. And so you set a parameter for failure and ask, is there a possibility of success? That's not fair. Now, having been to where they have gorillas, fewer than 100 people have gone after a gorilla, but you'd need something like a net. You have to have something to offset the extreme physical power of gorillas. But do people go and fight gorillas? My friend, they do, but they're going to do the lone wolf thing. They're going to have at least some kind of weapon, but people have almost wiped out gorillas. And we're talking about Africans that are a lot shorter than we are, and like Rwanda, Burundi. So people can fight gorillas. Pygmies, who are very short, have dealt with gorillas. The only thing is it isn't fair to pick a contest and then strip the contestant of any element of having a degree of success. Okay, so with the net, maybe 50 people or fewer. If it's done right, if they set a trap for the gorilla, they can get it. But if you say, oh, nope, it's only could be bare hands, that's not how you hunt gorilla. That's like saying, try to catch fish without a fishing line or a hook. Now, some people can jump in the water and catch fish. Cats could do it. Some dogs can do it. I mean, some birds can do it, but it's a rare person that can catch a fish with no kind of tool, no net, just it's got to be bare hands. And that's a smaller size fish due to the protective gear that the creator gave to the fish, the slipperiness of the scales and water and all of that. It's not fair to not give someone an adaptive means, which is why weapons and tools, the one thing that a human being can do is say, all right, I've got all of these odds against me dealing with the gorilla. What can I do? What you've done is, when you said they can't have tools and they can't have weapons, is you're not talking about human beings anymore. You're not talking about people or things that are able to think or come up with solutions in an adversarial situation. So I don't know of 100 anything that could attack a gorilla. Maybe elephants, but even elephants wouldn't necessarily do that. They don't live in the same environment. So you've got to allow the animal to be the animal. You told us all of the strengths and abilities of the gorilla. And one of the key strengths of the human species is to be able to think and to create things in order to help them adopt or dominate in their environment. He says, oh, they can't have that. So, I mean, that's sort of like a pork chop feminist thing about...
No. Don't put that on me.
You can't get a DNA test. You must pay child support. I don't love you. And if you don't pay, I'm going to call and get your car towed, to all this. Well, basically, why not give them the option? So, like I said, if they were allowed to have nets, yes, 100 people, maybe even fewer, depending on what kind of nets. If they could have a rope, yes. But if they can't have anything that human beings who've been hunting for however long human beings have been around, if all of that's taken away, you make it a fool's errand.
Well, listen, I'm gonna say this, brother Dr. Short. A head up fade, as we would say. Head up fade. Mano y mano. Right? That's me going up, but at this time, the advantage is on the side of the human with the numbers. You got one gorilla upon, as they say, upon 100 men. Okay? So even with that collection of thought, they can come up with something strategic to try to hem this gorilla up.
But hemming them up requires the very thing. Hem him up with what? You got to see what you just said.
Gorilla tactical mobility, sir.
Tactical mobility. So how do you get?
You can send a group. You can take maybe 20 of that 100, run them off that way to distract them. Then you got 80 men jumping on the back of this gorilla. Right? Yeah. That's strategy.
And doing an eye gorge.
You don't need no weapons.
An eye gorge. He can't hit, but he can't see. I'm going for the eye.
So you go for so my thought still.
Yeah.
Even the man, a lot of folks' hands gonna get bit off before they get to the eyes. But I think 100 people could take a gorilla, but a net and a nice little hole to like run them in to get them down. That's the main thing. Even when folk are taking on almost toddlers in the school, people use overwhelming force, these so-called race soldiers, to deal with, say, a 10 or 12-year-old. A gorilla's intelligent. They're not stupid. And on top of that, gorillas can fight as a group. So if you've got like a big super male gorilla, he could call his friends. And therefore, you wouldn't have the 100-to-1 thing.
But see, watch. This is why I put the parameters. One gorilla. That's the challenge. That's the trend. One gorilla, head up fade against 100 men. Everybody in the chat, drop a 1 if you rocking with the gorilla. Drop a 2. Drop a 2 if you with brother Short and brother Wolf.
All
right. Drop a 2 if you with brother Short and brother Wolf, and drop a 1 if you see the gorilla doing this thing and cooking all of these niggas.
Now you know what, Chef C. If the gorilla was the coon, you could take a white woman there, and that would disarm the gorilla.
But this is why I said, IQ, did I not just say Planet of the Apes had the coon gorilla? That's the neutralizer. That's why I say, okay, the 100 cats got more of a chance if the gorilla's a coon.
And you know
all you got to do is roll out a Becky.
We could get Pay. That's what I call him, or Shannon Sharp.
Yeah,
to probably pick one of his grifter white women to help take the gorilla down.
So let me ask you, Steph C. Let me ask you a question, right?
Yes, sir.
For the sake of argument. Why did this go viral?
That's a phenomenal question. Sister Vina asked that question too. I have no goddamn clue.
This is the patriarchy. We should be able to come up with some answers why this went viral. Is it an attack on masculinity? Saying 100 men can't protect, provide, and give instruction?
Okay, Q. Okay, I like what you do.
I smell pork chop aroma.
What say you, Brother Wolf? I like that. I like that question, though. I like that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to Brother ABM. Brother ABM, you in there, man? What say you? Why does a situation like this, guerrilla warfare per se, why is this going viral all of a sudden?
It seems like once a year we got to have these conversations about humanity versus some animal. Remember a couple years ago, it was all the feminists talking about they'll choose the bear rather than men. You know what I'm saying? So now it's, is the gorilla, is it 100 men or is it a gorilla? I ain't gonna lie, man. Q just made a good point. This does have a hint of feminism in it. Maybe some chick we don't know came up with this. Like, look at these niggas. These niggas scared of a monkey. Look at them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you might got a point there, man. I still say the gorilla wipes them.
But you know what? How come we don't?
Barehanded, I still say the gorilla wipes them.
How come once a year we don't challenge the feminists? Like, I mean, they're talking about 100 men taking on a gorilla. I'm thinking about one woman being a good stay-at-home mom to 2 kids. Give their ass an impossible task. Okay.
Damn fool.
Okay. Now, I mean, let me tell you some shit that they can't do. and raise that child to maturity on a good reading level, and they're not in jail or on drugs. Okay, so I mean, how many women would it take to raise one American child the right way? Okay. In fact, let's do what you just did with no male help, no social programs, nothing. Okay, and you just go raise that kid because you want to. How many women would it take to raise like 3 male children without all the tools and stuff that's handed where the women have failed almost completely? How many would it take to raise 3 boys to maturity and put them in college and then be functional men that could be marriageable and become patriarchs? Because y'all don't have a damn number, and they don't either. And by the way, no instant food. No, make everything from scratch.
Oh man.
Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Let's really be clear about that.
And so let's just let's make their, it's sort of like the little bitch push-ups that you had in gym where the girls didn't have to lift their whole body, only push the top half, and it was compared to the dude that had to push his whole body up. Just how many children could you raise without supplemental income and all this other stuff, and then raise maturity? In fact, no blenders, no microwave oven, just straight up. You're going to raise these kids and turn them out right. Most of these same ladies who are always coming up with stupid ideas to challenge men would refuse a contest because the lack of accountability is the hallmark of many of these ladies. And what they do to counter their lack of accountability is to create an impossible scenario that men are to reach to, and none for themselves. I'm just thinking about a dear friend of mine who won a very important case in Ohio this past week. But what had been done was it was a black attorney defending a black woman from another lying ass, young, whore-ass, grifter, young black woman that put charges against her own aunt, right? And by sorry, single mother, you know the type. There's so many, right? And he called me trying to figure out, because they just messed it up, no plea deal. They're going to put this black woman that's almost a damn senior in jail on the accusation with no evidence of another black woman. And what I had to say to him is, dude, the reason that you got a problem with this case is that you're not practicing what you're supposed to do in law, which is to provide equal protection and justice. Would you really just take a prima facie defense from a man, or would you rip through and look that man up, look to see how many hairs he's got up his ass? You would know everything about him, and you would find some way to nail him. You've got to treat this woman like she's a war criminal. Once you prove that she's not shit, you'll win. And he won the case, but the strategy was, instead of trying to preserve her status or the lack of virtue, which a lot of these ladies don't have none. They don't have any. People like Letitia James. Let's stop pretending that people have virtue and decency, because they don't. Once he approached her like that and used a woman lawyer to prove this lady was a truant in school, couldn't even be good to the one kid she had living free off of her aunt and her grandmother. He won with an all-white jury. But it was all about holding people accountable for the possible. It's within your realm. Bitch, hijacking her aunt's car, driving places, and it wasn't going to the store to get infant formula for a baby. It was really about just expecting her to do what she could do and ought to do for her newborn child that she wasn't doing. And so I'm just applying that to this situation, that what folk can do, like cook and screw and be cooperative and keep stuff neat and clean, right? And you can get a lot of exercise. You don't need to go to Planet Fitness if you scrub the damn dirt off your ceiling fan and clean the stairs and such. I mean, instead of having a Hispanic come in and do it for you, you could be in shape just keeping your house up. In fact, don't use a vacuum cleaner, use a broom, right? Things that people could do to keep themselves up within the realm of the possible. We don't demand that. The woman's lib has liberated women from standards or norms. And at the same time, the way that they've moved forward is to consistently compare men to an impossible standard and then trash them for it. Like the man that's supposed to pay child support for children he can't see, that they aren't DNA matches, that they're even his.
That's a fact, brother. Dr. Shaw, crazy with this, man. Salute the brother, Dr. Shaw. Listen, let's go ahead and we're going to slide by this real quick. I want to go ahead and bring something up to y'all real fast.
Wait, hold on there, Chef C.
Hold on. Who we got in here? We got Coke. Hold on, that's Coke. Let me see something.
Oh, it's an honor.
We got Coke.
It's an honor. And I must say, Chef C, before you even introduce the esteemed minister, Reverend.
Yes, sir.
I want to tell you that I got notice that I will be receiving my check from Target via Coke Sharpton and his advocacy in getting Target to understand DEI equals black. So, Coke Sharpton, I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, listen, we doing the Lord's work out here. The class action lawsuit for Target, Black America v. Target. The checks will be going out. Q, your share of 2 pennies and a butter biscuit honey packet will be receiving in the mail within the next 2 to 5 years. So, yeah, you're welcome, sir.
Brother Coke, man, salute. And definitely thank you for checking in. 130 plus in the building.
I just want to say,
talk to me about this gorilla. What's your perspective, Coke, on the gorilla, sir?
Listen, man, shout out, much love to the panel. The illustrious Dr. Short. Listen, Dr. Short, even with a Al Sharpton hairnet, look, man, I'll give you a clip, Dr. Short. I'll give you a clip. But a hairnet, at some point in the past, it was 100 niggas sitting around and then this motherfucker come around the tree. You understand me? Man, I'm with ABM on this one. The minute that gorilla opened his mouth up, pause, and it was the first person coming at the gorilla, he gonna get folded up like a chef's.
That nigga gonna be a motherfucking a beef Wellington.
Yeah, he gonna fold up like one of them origami napkins you do at your dinners.
Yeah.
And then that gorilla gonna do his scream. The minute he do his scream, now you down to 99 niggas. The next
hold on, nigga. You said 99 is gone off GP with the scream.
The first 8 niggas is shitting and pissing on themselves first.
Okay.
That's what they doing. When you smell that breath that ain't been brushed since he done came up out the womb. Oh my God, man. The gorilla has the strength of he has the crushing power of 3,000 pounds in his fist. 3,000 pounds. The average human, what, 200 pounds? So what is that? That's 20,000 pounds.
Multiply that, right? But three down what? Three down 2. So how many niggas? Nigga, they all gone already.
Man, if you're scared, stay scared, man. Just say you're scared.
Listen, man. The first 20 niggas is running. I'm telling you, after that first one get folded up, the next 20 running. Then you're gonna have your doctor. Then you're gonna have your Juan J. Johnsons left over and all of that.
Right.
Juan think it's 99 people around him. It's gonna be 30 and a possible, maybe, and then that's gonna be the ones that's gonna get down. This is a sick Negro. Half these niggas fleeing like when it come time to stop for Black American causes. Let's wake this up.
Man, come on, wake that up. Let's make it play. God damn it, yeah. Come on, they gonna show up like they show up for Black American causes.
Look here,
non-existent.
You keep adding perimeters, so the gorilla ain't gonna be scared. I get about 100 folks built like Shannon Sharp. The gorilla psychologically looks at him like, okay, that could be a threat.
No. Hold on. But what animals do when they're afraid? They don't flee. They come out like it's the last thing they got. That's why them 100 niggas is cooked.
And what do brothers who have nothing to lose fighting an animal of that size? They get them all at one time. Ain't no one.
Nah, them niggas is
zipping.
We talk. Hold on. What Negroes are we talking about? The Negroes in the 60s, or we talking about the 2025 Negroes?
Just give me 100 solid Negroes. Ain't got me Negroes. Just give me 100 solid dudes who built the fight.
Ain't nobody fighting no gorilla. These dudes wearing Gucci slides, right? Ain't nobody fighting the gorilla in Gucci slides
and slim fits. Them niggas is not.
Okay,
man.
Okay. I have a question.
And they wearing the Dr. Short hat. See, these niggas ain't fighting. They not fighting no gorilla.
Could 200 Cory Booker and Hakeem Jeffries type brothers take on a gorilla?
I don't know, Dr. Short. Dr. Short, is he in the Spartacus chariot with his wrist out approaching the gorilla? Maybe.
But you know what? Then you know what? Maybe their AIDS could kill a gorilla, but we'd have to take a long time. No, I'm not saying they have AIDS, but maybe. You know, maybe they could give it STD or something and wait around. Now that's not using a weapon, Chef C.
Right. Now
it's bio warfare. It is a weapon.
I will give you some credit. What you think about this? They said that these animals in the wild, they're fast and they're strong for a short period of time. And like one of the ways, I don't necessarily believe in the out of Africa theory, but they said that humans, if that's your thing, that we don't have lots of hair because a jaguar will walk us down in the first 30 seconds, but we'll walk a jaguar down in the next 30 minutes. And that's really what, if we want to talk that hunting talk, a lot of it was hunting because we would follow that buffalo for daggone 2 months before we even catch the damn thing. And they said after about 30 seconds, 2 minutes, the gorilla tired. That's when you bring on wands gouging the eyes and stomping on
Can I say something that, but again, it would require tools, Chef C. If you've ever seen people hunt tigers or other stuff, they make a lot of noise. The animals hate noise. It could drive them crazy. And we could get a bunch of people like Diddy and Jay-Z to sing and shit. They're non-performing asses. Get a bunch of fake ass people like Megan Thee Stallion to like sing and make noise, little Nas X, and that just plucked the nerves of the gorilla. That would just really incapacitate them. I don't know if you've seen that. They go hunting, they make lots of noise, banging on stuff. The noise bothers the animals because they have super good hearing, and that can really exhaust an animal hearing a lot of noise. And so you could conceivably. You could get a bunch of Negroes with pots and pans and bang and make noise. So the thing can't sleep. And when he's tired, beat his ass.
That's real goodwill hunting right there. Just on a serious note though, Chef, why this thing popped up. Shout out to ABM that was talking about last year with the pork chop feminists bringing up the choosing the bear over the man. I think this is a troll from the dominant society just to get gorilla images up on the algorithm. Again, I think I'm putting on my tinfoil kufi on this one. This is a troll from the dominant society just to get gorillas memes up on the timeline and to determine which one of these Negroes out here is playing checkers Connect 4 on a chessboard. Because I'm hearing all types of weird strategies. Oh, well, we would do this and do that. And I'm like, why ain't nobody going out? These folk ain't been to the gym in 4 months. Well, first you're going to send the first wave. First People will die. Let's start there. And then we gonna send these folk out there strategizing. What they say, Juan, what Mike Tyson say, everybody got a plan till you get punched in the face.
No, I have an idea. I know how they could get the gorilla. You could give that gorilla some home cooked food by some pork chop feminists.
Ooh, the collard greens is the setup.
Yeah, give them the bad food that these folks can't cook, or for some Asian corner store takeout, and a bunch of. Did you hear about the woman that died from having the pepper corn chips and all the stuff? She ate a bunch of junk food, died in an ICE facility. But actually, we could use some pork chop food, that bad food that these folks give. That's why kids don't do well in school. And give that to the gorilla. That thing would have gastrointestinal problems so bad we could sneak up on him. Maybe 10 of us could get him. Well, I tell you that a real talk that you never saw the picture of the German soldiers marching through Russia right after the Battle of Stalingrad. What they did was they gave them this soup that gave them diarrhea. And so as the German soldiers walked through there, all like shitting on themselves. And they had the street cleaning, sanitation thing come to clean the shit up. Germans have done that. Well, what they could do is give the gorilla, because, that's how they catch the monkey. You put some sweet food inside of a coconut, and the monkey will put his hand inside the coconut. And if you alert, then you startle the monkey and you chase him. And the monkey has one hand in the coconut. It can't run or do as much because it's greedy and it wants the food inside the coconut, and that's how they catch him. I mean, if the gorillas are greedy, if they're sort of like Clyburn or, again, like Diddy or Jay-Z or Beyonce, or if they're like a boule person, you could put something that the gorilla gets taken with that they want to mess with. And if they're stupid, they'll put their hand in and won't let it go. Then that takes out one arm. And or you could give them, as they do, put some kind of sedative or drug or something in the food that they like, because they do like food, and give them something and get them high. In fact, I'll tell you something, out of that 100 people, at least 50 of them smoke weed. They could all pool their weed together and make something for the gorilla to eat. And that THC would make him chill out, maybe put on some smooth jazz, and then just round his ass up.
Listen. A high gorilla still gonna fade 20, 25, 100 Negroes. Niggas is getting cooked.
Regular Negro, chef. We ain't talking about this. Look, with a Juan and a Q and a Dr. Short, Chef C on.
They talking about these super Negroes, man. No,
regular nigga. We talking about regular every day. Look, I ain't ate breakfast this morning. I haven't taken my sea moss, niggas. Every day, nigga. Hey, look, hey, Juan, 100. I don't understand situational awareness, niggas. See, Juan, no, that's carcass.
Juan said, brother Juan said, you moving the goalpost, Cope. Hold on.
If the gorilla is at his full strength, right, his full power with no weakness, why are we going to send our weakest to fight a gorilla? I want about 100 Mike Tyson types, David Goggin types. Give me 100 of those jokers. Nothing to lose.
Mike Tyson would surely bite him.
You dang right. Give me 100 Mike Tyson types. See, I'm talking about killers. Give me some folks who got that business. 100 with no flaws, because the gorilla don't have no flaws. Let's see what happens.
And you know how you can distract a gorilla? Have Obama run around them naked with Argyle socks on.
Pause.
This is a sick Negro.
Hey man, listen here. Let's move on from this thing now, ladies, gentlemen. Let's move on. Here we go. I got something that I want y'all to see real quick that's gonna set us up for the next program, which is your man. Shout out to Ryan Garcia. He caught a phenomenal fade. He got bopped real quick. And this is the Mr. the nigger himself, Ryan Garcia. That guy. Last year, Ryan Garcia went on a tirade for about a week or so, actually. Just going crazy with the nigger word. And basically he caught a fade here. Salute to the 140 plus in here. He caught the fade, a fade that was long overdue for this loud mouth. This is what happens when you can't get your steroids. Okay? This is what happens. So let me go ahead and play this, y'all. Got him bopped.
Ryan Garcia, that last fight against
slid him. Slid him. That's what happens when you sit somebody down. So 100 Ryan Garcias is taking on that gorilla? I don't think so. But anyway, I digress. Let me get back on the subject. Let's stay on the subject here. Ryan Garcia, Mr. Infamous, was caught crying on the bus after this L. Now, he didn't get knocked out, ladies and gentlemen. I will say that. He did not get knocked out. Okay? But I believe it was a unanimous decision. Okay? It was a unanimous decision. He didn't look his best. He didn't look like he could get popping. But before I do that, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, I got a young man who's kind of backing up what Wolf was saying pertaining to this gorilla. I know I'm bouncing all over the place, but I'm kind of calling cap. This man said he was in the service, and he said he caught a head up fade with a gorilla barehanded. He bodied the gorilla, he said. That's what he said to me, He said he bodied the gorilla, y'all. Peep this.
I am living proof that 100 men could easily defeat one gorilla in a fight. And that's because in 2006, working special forces in the Congo from Cape Town, my unit and I were attacked by the silverback gorilla, and I personally pacified and put the gorilla to sleep permanently with just my hands. And that's because if you're actually from South Africa, you're from the Congo, if you're from Africa at all, you're not from the United States and Europe, or you don't know about these animals, you would know that it's actually very easy to fight back and take the life of a gorilla. They do not they do not have the software to understand an opponent resisting or an opponent attacking back. They're not used to that. They do not understand how to strike, how to hold, how to grab. They come at you running, they come at you thumping, they come at you barking, screaming. But actually they have no idea how to fight or how to win. It's all show. And I stood there, I stood still, I took blows, I took a lot of spit, and I grabbed the gorilla around the neck, I fell backwards, pacified, snuffed out. That simple. I really hope this clears it up. 100 men could kill a gorilla in a matter of seconds. It's not difficult, it happens all the time. Gorillas are hunted to extinction right now, and a lot of the times they're killed with bare hands. It's that easy. It really is like taking candy from a baby.
Hey man, get this nigga out of here.
I don't think he's wrong, Chef C.
I'm calling
cap. It sounds like the way that the gorillas attack is the way pork chops do before they call the police when you want to check them.
I'm calling cap on this dude, man. I can't really go for it. I don't believe
Chef
it.
C, I'm telling you that he's correct that the gorillas have been hunted almost to extinction. I've been to Rwanda. Not that I've been by where the gorillas are. The gorillas live in a very small thing, and they have to be protected because people kill and eat gorillas. I'm talking about bushmeat for real. So don't think that gorillas don't get killed. And I'm saying to you, the Africans there are a lot smaller than we are typically. I mean that. If you met, now you may see Kagame, the head of Rwanda, who's some of them are tall, but a lot of them are short. And those folks do too kill and do what they want with the gorillas. I'm not saying how many, I'm just saying people kill gorillas.
And you know what? All animals get killed as far as I'm concerned. And I'm gonna say And I'm going to say that gorilla, this dude ain't take no gorilla out by himself, let alone 100 men. Yeah, I'm standing 10 toes on that.
Why are you not
A
defending?
gorilla will pack 100 Negroes up easy.
Hey, Seth, can you check the back? Can you check the chat, please, sir?
Hold on, sir. Yeah. I'm going to need, listen, a gorilla would pack 100 Negroes up with the quickness.
Nope. No.
Hold on, look at Brian Garcia.
Juan on to something with that weak spots though, because my biggest thing is that a gorilla could be knocked the hell out, and they still got the strength of like 400-pound muscle bones you could barely break. But if you go to them weak spots though, hey, look, Chef, that's everybody right here taking the right. Let that play.
Hold on, I gotta turn that. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. What he talking about? This 100 of these Negroes. Juan said he gonna take with him.
Give me 100 Mike Tyson types, 100 David Goggin types with no weakness. Trust me, gorilla going down. So y'all keep adding flaws to us. Give me a flawed brother who's a killer. He going down.
Listen, Ryan Garcia, man.
Hey,
listen.
look, Ryan Garcia was on that sauce, and then he came. This is right after he got off that sauce right there.
What sauce? The one that you okay.
Yeah,
what sauce? Coach Shopton?
No, Ryan Garcia was on that juice. He was on that juice. He was saucing up last year. Remember, Ryan Garcia was on steroids.
He was on that Coke Sharpton? He wasn't on that?
Ryan Garcia, no. I said sauce, not saucy. Saucy, that's different. Saucy is different. You feel me?
Yeah.
He was doing all of this, and everybody was like, oh, he could punch 65 times in 10 seconds. Oh, he gonna knock somebody out. Yeah, see, he got folded up like a fajita.
Well, I'll say this, gentlemen. Let's get to the objective of the hour, y'all. Let's get here. I know we got, nigga, y'all take it forever. Fuck you. We in here now. God damn it. All right. Hit the like, god damn it. Let's go on and make this thing happen. Shout out to this Karen by the name of Shiloh. I think I'm saying the name right. Shiloh Hendricks. Who, she looks like a trailer park trash as far as I'm concerned. She's out of the Minnesota area. Okay. And she took it upon herself to go ahead and start having a major Karen moment. Okay. Let's go ahead and play this toward a little autistic. I believe the young man was 5 years old. They're saying he's black. Some folks are saying he's Somali. He's a Somali kid, so he's not really black. Black American. I leave that up to y'all. But let's go ahead and play this. She really went after that little youngin' and cooked him.
Did you call the word? It is now dismissed. You call him an
Yeah. Oh, that's a full-blown Karen, racist Karen right there. She hit him with the, she hit him with the, look. Oh, that's a filthy trailer park right there. That's a filthy cave animal right here. Look. Oh, shit, yo. Let's go ahead. That little baby's going to be just as filthy.
Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again? All right, that's what you say. Nobody digging your shit.
You know what? Let me say this, y'all. Can C keep it a buck with y'all? I respect a stomp down Karen. I do. I like that head up racism. I love it. Not the nice and polite kind. Salute to the 150 plus in here. I like the head up bigotry. I love it. Because we got niggas like this,
Everybody love everybody! Come on!
We got a lot of Negroes like that out here. Okay? Until you realize that Jay-Z, we really ain't moved past the goddamn thing. America is as she has always been. Okay? Filthy Karen or rich Karen? Karen nonetheless. Let's play some more.
That little kid, you call him a little child? What if he acts like one? It's gonna. Are you about to hit him? You chase him here? He took my son's stuff. So that gives you the right to call the child 5 years old the N-word. If that's what he's gonna act. That's what you're gonna call him.
She cooking that little dude. That's 10 toes down, y'all. As they say. That's 10 toes down on bigotry and racism. And that's saying it with your chest. She don't give a fuck who out there. There's people in that park watching this shit going on. Nigga. Finger and everything. Nobody saying nothing. That's 10 toes down, Black America.
But Chef, that's as close as certain people are going to get to seeing the movie Sinners, to watch her do that. So, to me, I get it.
Well, let's play some more of this. Let her have her moment.
That's what he's gonna act like. You know, that's a hate speech. And you can be recorded for that. I don't give a shit. Okay, we'll see about that, what the internet has to say about you.
That's 10 toes down. You gotta respect the races like this, to be as racist as she can be.
And Chef, see, this is why it is pertinent for Black Americans to delineate as well. I got to say it, right? Now, I'm not saying that every Black we got the coon class. Yes, we do. But when you got this, the one holding the camera, he's Somali, right? And we might be jumping a lead, but they tried to throw the jacket on him, and it's not who they. People try to put the P word on him and all of that. Turned out to not be the right person. I'm sure we'll get into that as we walk down this course right here. But the only thing that he's no different than them zesties down in Atlanta. No shade to Atlanta. He no different than them. I'm wearing my Gucci slides. I got it on camera. Listen, sometimes when it come time to fisticuffs, when it come time to getting busy, there's two types of people in this world. One that turn the cameras on and one that turn the cameras off and put it in their pocket. And he did that. That's Somali. He didn't even understand the magnitude of the word she was using. This is stomp down, cave dwelling troglodyte lineage right here.
Come on with it.
Telling you, that baby looked like it's ready to go home and get in its diapers with his belly out and run around stepping on Coors Light cans and meth pipes and stuff. They are one generation away from the trailer park. You know the type. That's a stomp down cave beast right there. This man is an immigrant from Somalia that don't even know what the hell in front of him. You're right. That's that OG racism right there. That's that Scots-Irish crackle racism right there. You can tell.
Well, I'll say this real quick. Give me a second, gentlemen. Salute to Carla for putting on and becoming the co-sponsor of today's broadcast. Salute to Carla for rocking. Salute. Rock that next one. Appreciate you, Carla, for putting on to the program. Thank you. Let me go ahead and get Carla up in here, brother. But yes, Brother Coke, man, I have to tell you, that's the original quote unquote sin of America. This is what has been laid dormant. And you know what? She's been rewarded for her courage, her outspokenness.
Hey,
right?
see, where that baby get his hair cut, it's only two styles. It's only two styles, the number one mullet and the number two Trump. And he went for the number two. He got the number two Trump. That's it. There's only two haircuts.
Stupid.
Hey, the craziest thing, right, Chef C, what Coke Sharpton speaks to is, I don't know about everybody else, but most of us keep our phones in our hand.
Right. Come on.
A lot of us got two phones. A lot of us phones don't leave within 3 feet away from where we're at all times. How do I always wonder, and I'm not being naive, how do these videos come out? Because if somebody says something to you and they're that close to you and they offended somebody, you should have been moving furniture by now.
Mm.
If I wouldn't have took offense to it, I wouldn't have recorded it, number one, or I wouldn't even paid that person any attention. If I would have been offended, we would have got to getting. So obviously, even when he said, it's like, do these videos be fake? Because he talk about for the internet. Oh, wait till the internet get a hold of you. You want to go viral recording somebody being in having the nature that they got. So I find it interesting stuff like this be going viral, and like you alluded to, Chef C, that she's even getting rewarded for her patriotism, for lack of better words.
right. Salute to the 150 plus in the building.
Or even a bigger.
Say it, Brother Wolf.
Or even a bigger picture. Well, they have been trying to get us on board to support them for about a year now. The immigrants. So, and we keep saying no.
Mm.
So what do you do now? We create a video, find somebody who's throwing slurs at us, and guess what we do? We take the bait.
Mm. Huh? Well,
I don't even want to give this no energy, because it's going to go to his community and they're going to say, just keep making these videos and they will come on board.
Mm. Well, you know what, Brother Wolf? Watch this though, sir. It's honestly too late, because guess what? This young lady has generated essentially a GoFundMe. And within 2 to 3 days, she's already raised more than $500,000, sir.
I'm not surprised.
America rewards its patriots, sir.
Well, Chef C, let me say this in defense of what Brother Juan said. We need to remember Brick Girl, the Somali woman. It's from the same community. These Somalis have lost face for stealing hundreds of millions of dollars in food aid targeted towards Black people in particular. And they stole it. There was a huge conspiracy to steal stuff set aside to help Black Americans in need. So I think they're trying to make themselves look cool. Again, as hard as that's ever going to be. All right. That's my take. And so I'm not screaming. The worst, the real news story, if you're going to ask me, Chef C, is the Black man in Cincinnati whose son was murdered by the police at a traffic stop. And he went and crushed and ran over and killed the officer that killed his son. So he did some Django. And that's the story that, yes. Just Hamilton County, it'll come up. He didn't wait 24 hours to say, you get mine, I get you. And this is the second case I've seen within the last 2 years of a Black father taking out a white male officer who executed a Black young man. And that's a new trend. In fact, that's taking out a gorilla, taking out somebody that's rogue in blue. By the way, I'm not advocating violence against anyone, but if you murder people under the color of law, don't be surprised if someone doesn't want to do something to you. You kill someone's loved one because you know that the Fraternal Order of Police has never seen a police slaying of a Black that they didn't like or that they could condemn. The reason that this doesn't happen in other communities is because they fear other people have a blood for blood mindset. You kill mine, I kill yours. What is happening, because people have been so disappointed by the legal system, we now have a growing blood for blood trend. You kill mine, I'm going to go and kill the officer It's fine. I don't care about the fraternal order police or the friendly patrolmen, whatever it is. Don't do it. But for the Somalis, I don't hate Somalis, but I will say this to you. A lot of folks, they game. They have a history of gaming, have a history of just dealing with themselves. And they're ruthless with certain people. But you didn't see them being ruthless with this lady, because the real Somalis, back in Somalia, a woman not wearing her proper Islamic dress, they beat her ass in public. So, maybe the weak ones come here.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Hey, Chef C, I in the chat I put the original video up in the chat channel. Also too for some background. We like to because it's always a lot of disinformation on the internet. And the homework that's been done is they tried to Kyle Rittenhouse the situation at first, right? Same way they tried to do with young Carmelo Anthony, a bastard baby mama family, project welfare, and it turns out that none of that mess is true, right? But they tried to hit him up and say that Somali was some pedo, right? And see, that's the thing that with that Kyle Rittenhouse thing, well, he shot one guy that was found out to be a pedophile. And it's like he didn't know that when he was shooting the person. See, that's that stuff you got to watch out for. Also, come to find out that Somali wasn't even the same Somali that they projected as having that charge. And within the past day, it done found out the Somali that they tried to pin on the person recording the video, follow me now, as the pedo that they found on the internet,
they clipped his wings.
Coke.
They clipped his wings.
Free Coke. Hey, Coke.
Free Coke shop.
Hello, chat testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
No, what I was saying was that the person they tried to pin him on, like Kyle Rittenhouse, they said it's okay. Kyle shot that person at the protest because come to find out he had a pedophile charge. They tried to do the same thing here. The person they tried to pin him on, number one, it wasn't even the same person, and number two, the person who that charge didn't even stick. The person didn't even get convicted of that charge. So they caping for this girl right here, and they're doing it as an economic challenge. They're still salty about young Carmelo Anthony raising that $500,000. All over the timeline, all I see is we won, putting up the Give, Sing, Go next to Carmelo Anthony. And see, this is where what Juan said is very truthful. They hate us because we're black. They can villainize us and attack us because we're poor in some instances economically. This is all about economics. They're still mad that black folk done collectivized to even get $500,000. All of this is all in retaliation of the Carmelo Anthony fund. Now here's the kicker, Chef C. Are you gonna is it too soon to let them know that she got a mixed baby back home? Is it too soon to let her, because the dominant society already done started freezing up her donations just like they did with the Metcalf father when they realized that he said forgive, like my brother Al Sharpton at a fish fry. Forgive, the Metcalf brother said. They said, how dare you become a race trader? We got to go after these niggas. So we gonna stop donating to you, Metcalf father, and we been stopped donating to the Metcalf mother, who hasn't reached her $200,000 goal since the past 2 weeks. So Metcalf's money's done dried up, but now they have a starlet now in this little cave demon, double wide demon right here, and all the money's going towards her. But when they find out that she come from a long line of black boyfriends, oh, she one of them double wide trailer demons. She got
a dirty footing.
Correct. Yeah, she's a mud duck. Yeah. See, because she burned the coal in the past, and now these demons done found out that she got to pay the toll now. So hold on.
So her little nigger moment was just to get a shot back at all all the long strokes that she was taking from back in the day because she couldn't get it with them cats per se.
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
Well, you know, she was supposedly in porn. So how many slaps to the face with the big penis did she get?
Oh, come on.
About 200.
Dr. Stewart owned it.
Oh, shit.
Realize that, like I said, one of the things is that we're so triggered when it comes to, unfortunately, racial issues, and how she knew, and the guy in the camera, like, this could all be one big grift. We never know, because we have to understand that everything that we see that's going on is a performance. It is a performance. So if you're not an individual that's triggered so emotionally with these issues, you'll be fine. You'll see that if she do get that bag, she's gonna, excuse the expression, she's gonna go home and give it to that nigga boyfriend.
And she should.
And not only that, she's going to give it to her friendly neighborhood crack and meth dealer.
And he's gonna give her all the eggplant that she can handle.
Oh, come on.
Wherever she needs to handle it.
The N-word is a billion-dollar industry.
All right, go there, Wolf.
Go ahead, Juan. Go ahead, Wolf.
N-word is a billion-dollar industry.
The only word you can say on YouTube without any censorship.
And get paid for it. And if you don't know how to tap into the grift on the N-word, that's on you. Like I said, I'm seeing both sides of the equation. I'm seeing her, and this is my first time ever seeing this video. So I don't know him or her. My first time seeing the video, hearing about the whole situation. But when I heard, what I saw was with the Somali community, with that immigrant community, is they're using, if we can't get them on board with us, and we got to produce videos that show that we're all catching it. And just put it out in the algorithm and have us talk about it. And it's exactly what they're doing. Okay. They might get the dime in money, but they're getting the views. It touches little black people's hearts. We're all in this together.
Hey, Chef, see, that's why
Everybody love everybody. Come on.
That's why, hey, Chef, that's why I had to hit you with the OG original clip just for Juan. Because
hold on, let me spin it. Hold on. Say that. Let me spin it for Juan. Let me bring Juan. Let me give Juan what he deserves. Yeah. Pause. And then you elaborate and wake this up for us, Coke.
You call him a nigger, the child?
The fuck you talking
Did you
about?
call the child the nigger word?
None of your fucking business.
It is my own business. You call him a nigger? Okay, why don't you have the balls to say it right now again?
I'm definitely clipping that shit up.
Okay.
Nigger.
All right, that's what you say.
You don't go digging through people's shit, you dumb fuck.
Nobody dig into your shit.
A little fucking kid just did, you dumbass.
That little kid, you call him a nigger? Yeah. The little child?
What if he acts like one, he's gonna...
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child, 5-year-old, a nigger, the N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know, that's a hate speech. And you can be recorded for that.
I don't give a shit.
Fuck off. Okay, we'll see about that, what the internet has to say about you.
You gotta respect the blatant. She 10 toes. She really is.
And if you zoom out 60,000 feet, like Juan said, notice. Now, I done got my account clipped last week for going at the small hat, going hard on the timeline on Elon Musk's internet, even over the Facebook. Facebook is now starting to relax a little bit. You can say what Q say. You can say it with your chest, that N-word with the hard ER all the way through. Oh, but don't you say nothing about them small hats, though. Don't you say nothing about the bundle of sticks, though. Don't you say nothing about that faggot, though. But that hard ER, oh, it's monetized. Juan is right. It is monetized. You are getting incentivized for dropping that hard ER in the timeline. You see?
Well, I mean, listen, gentlemen, this is listen, I respect it. Like I said, not in that way. Some of my black folks don't get so sensitive. I just like that America has no problem reminding Negroes that you just a Negro. Ultimately, you know, it's a whole bunch of people walking around like
Everybody love everybody! Come on!
it's way too much of that. Okay,
Hey, Chef,
way
and
too much.
a
Go ahead.
pattern is starting to develop as well. Help me protect my family. Where's the father in the home?
Mm.
Yeah, on both sides, her daddy and her child's daddy, both children with different fathers. Where's the fathers in the home? You get to the Metcalfs, how they gonna be divorced and the kids, the twins living with the auntie? See, a lot of folk tripped over that one. The parents is divorced, but they both having a memorial to help my family campaign. See, the very thing that they project onto Black America is a projection. It is them. They are the double wide trailer park dwellers with single parent family. You understand what I'm saying? Barely two nickels to rub together to get a Pabst Blue Ribbon. This is America. This is America. You staring at America in the park right now. That's America right there.
Okay.
That is America.
I want to help this brother out and remind people that in 1992, over 50% of white folk who don't finish high school, over 50% of the children born to such people were out of wedlock. That was in 1992. That's 33 years ago. Yes. 33 years ago, 50% illegitimacy rate for low-income white folks. 33 years ago. Do you think it's better now? In fact, let's do some more. How many people know that in the state of Ohio, the racist state of Ohio, they do everything they can to force Black people who are foster parents to take white children because the Black foster parents treat the children better than white folks do. And so they will give Black kids to a white family knowing that they'll be treated badly and give white kids the Black family so they get the full treatment. Because folks who know the history know who used to raise white people were Black folks. As our families were destroyed, we were not only building up their commerce and their income, we were building up their families. So he could have 15 mistresses and she could grab the meat of the butler, and some Black woman whose kids are malnourished with rickets because they don't get her milk. That milk goes to a white child whose mom won't even breastfeed her own white son. This is part of America too, if we can be honest with each other. Who's with me? And so you'll never see a show like Bill Moyer's show from 1986, The Crisis of the Black Family. You can find it online. But you have hundreds of thousands and millions of illegitimate white kids. But that's never the image, because the media works overtime to protect the image of white people. And two, I can recall reading an article back around 2025 years ago. One reason, I'll tell you, when you see all this gentrification in the city, one reason that people move into the city is based on the article that I was reading, that crime in rural areas had gone up 300%. 300%. And that's white on white crime, stealing, killing, robbing, all of it. White America's in a total crisis. Okay, and the chickens have come home to roost. Of course, you can give people a lot of drug court. You can do all kinds of stuff to keep them out of trouble so they don't do time. But this is why you have such a severe issue with meth and with fentanyl. With crack, it had a Black face. There was an enemy for people to rally behind to attack crack as a social problem. But with fentanyl and the opioids being a white situation predominantly, they have not. What they've come forth with drug court and everything else, housing, everything, to shore up white addicts and not hold anyone accountable and talk about the humanity of addicts. Have you ever seen the mothers crying on TV about their little junkie son or daughter that was a hero? Did you ever hear of a black crack addict or a black drug dealer being called a hero by their parents and it being sensitively covered on the mainstream media? Or did you have a black mother or father saying, I wish my son or daughter weren't doing this, right? As much as they say black folks have no accountability, right? So this woman, who looks a lot like Lillian Gish was a silent actress who was the star that was running from the Black Civil War veteran and D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation. That's another reason that they're giving her money. People have a historic memory of Lillian Gish. By the way, Lillian Gish, a total slut, Hollywood, early silent screen star. Okay, y'all get me. Just like you had Fay Ray with King Kong, another trampy white woman who was like a sex symbol. So, but they're going to make her look good. The same way they made the whore-ass woman Fergie, who was married to one of the people in the royal family. They never made her out to be a slut, even though that's what she was. Because in reality, the only real weapon that the white world has now, outside of nuclear weapons to control people, other than military power, is the media. And we still haven't gotten to the point where there is a strong international reporting that debunks and debates them. And even when it does happen, Al Jazeera, Press TV, RT, and other smaller networks, right? Xinhua News, anybody that can debunk white America, the American public, isn't allowed to see. Because this is just like before the Civil War, where censorship was at an all-time high. Why? They were trying to cover up what they were doing to black people. It's always the same story. It's all about us people. It's about hiding the crimes and the wickedness and degeneracy of their system. And so back then you had happy slaves. And then you, at a later point, you have crazy slaves on drugs, a crack thing. But they can't take a good look at themselves. They really can't. But we have to hold that mirror up. We have to make people see themselves even when they don't want to see it. And that's the other thing with Brick Girl or every other story that comes along, like Carmelo. They wanted Carmelo, as our brother said, to be from a jacked up family so we could dismiss and all that, because that's what they want for us. They have a satanic death wish on us, and that's what they look for. And so some of us have experienced it in various ways, whether it's applying for work and the person trying to find a criminal record on yours truly and couldn't find anything, and being told in the interview I was a freak because I'm a black man that didn't have a whole bunch of negative stuff. None. I still didn't get the job. It was a white woman, by the way. Okay, let me let this go. I land.
Hey, check this out, though. Brother Short, I got to touch on that situation that you brought up because it is intriguing. However, I found that was not the officer that killed the father. I mean, that killed the son. It was a different officer. And the officer that he then decided to put that work in on was a officer who recently retired. So let's bring this up, y'all. For those who aren't up to speed, and one of the person in the chat said that was the last subject matter that we were talking about. That was a Somali child. It wasn't a black child, but again, get flat blacked. at the drop of a dime, especially when that melanin, you talk about that melanin skin. So, the darker hue. So, hey, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and play this, though. This is a clip. This father is on trial, was being held at the moment for having had gone into a rage state. And anybody that had on a police uniform essentially had to get that work, because now you done killed his son, and somebody got to pay. I understand this father's sentiment, right? But you know what? Let's play this and then we'll have a
Hey,
conversation.
Chef
And then we're gonna
B,
close it. Yes, sir.
I got a question. Do you think that he grew up watching Speed Race as a cartoon?
Possibly. That was a classic. I did. Let's play this.
The father in Cincinnati who was arrested for murder after police say he ran over a police officer on purpose. And many believe it was an act of revenge after police shot and killed his 18-year-old son. The day before Rodney Hinton Jr. was arrested, his 18-year-old son, Ryan Hinton, was among 4 young men found in a stolen car in Cincinnati. As police approached the vehicle, the 4 men jumped out and ran, and Ryan, who was reported to have a gun in his hand, ran between 2 garbage bins where police were heard shouting, "He's got a gun, he's got a gun," and then they opened fire. Ryan Hinton was shot in the back within 6 seconds of the police approaching the car, and he died immediately. Reports say later that day, Ryan's father, Rodney, saw footage of the shooting, and he became enraged over the loss of his son. The next day, police say he spotted a random deputy directing traffic near the University of Cincinnati's graduation ceremonies, and Rodney aimed his car and crashed into the deputy, killing him instantly. The yet unnamed deceased police officer had retired from the force, but he decided to take on this last special assignment for the city. And just to be clear, the officer who was killed in this crash was not the same police officer who shot Rodney's son. Rodney Hinton Jr. is being held without bond until his hearing on Tuesday. What do you think of this story? Leave a comment to let me know. I'm Tierka with the
Credit to the content creator. What y'all say, man? Let me go to the panel, man. I'm gonna start with Q, work my way down. Brother Pauls, Brother Q, what say you, sir? This is, listen, I understand the rage, right? So, for me, if somebody did that to a child, I don't have no kids, but I'm like that even with my nieces and nephews. All right? Somebody got to get this work. Okay? And I get if I get into that rage state, I don't know where I'm at. I just know somebody got to hold this L. In the case of Brother Q, what Brother Q say. So what say you, Brother Q, man? Was it too far, or is it a show of promise as far as men coming back into seeing things for what it should be, which is an eye for an eye? What say you, sir?
Very layered topic, very layered subject. Was he enraged because he felt that he couldn't help his child? Was he enraged that he may have felt that he failed as a father to protect, provide, and give instruction? Was he enraged that his son was no longer with us? He took it out on the wrong cop. The ends don't justify the means, in my personal opinion. I mean, to be in that situation as a parent is a level of hurt, a level that I've never been at. Unfortunately, I hope I don't never have to face. It is a situation that I think that he may believe that is justifiable, even though it was the wrong person. He probably bunched all law enforcement in one big bag and said, if one did it, all of them should pay. And I'm not going to say much because we are on the internet and people got platforms and things that they got riding. So I don't want to say nothing to jeopardize anything that may come back. So I'm going to just say, let the tape play a little bit. Not that, but just the whole situation. It's just unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. 2 lives gone, and now he's sitting there. And I'm sure that if he was, I'm going to just say this. It's almost amazing that they said automatically that he did this act intentionally because nobody knows his intention. You got people that be in the street when people are trying to drive and get where they're going. So it may not be that true. It may just be a coincidence that he hit an officer and they automatically think it was revenge. I don't know. I mean, that's, a day later. I could see if it would have been like, as soon as he saw it on the news, he went out and just sought out an officer or whatever. But a day later, some of the rage may have been gone. And he might have just been like, it might have just hit an officer who just happened to be directing traffic. They do stand in the middle of the street, unfortunately.
Well, I will say this and salute to the 160 plus in the building. I agree with you. Let's be clear. We don't advocate for violence on the platform. We don't advocate for violence. However, listen, I believe, that the father, in that moment, it's hard to speak to a father who has already made their mind up, especially feeling as if you were helpless in protecting your son. Right. That is a different kind of rage, especially when it was somebody like somebody actually did it instead of the child dying of natural causes. Right. So again, we don't advocate for violence on the platform for all you fucking pieces of shit out here who like to do surveillance and bullshit. Nonetheless, I do understand where this father may have come from. But I'm going to go to the wolf. Sir, what say you, being a retired DMV DC officer, sir, 20 plus, almost 30 years in the business, sir? What say you? Definitely got to hear from our brother Wolf. Hold on, Wolf. You are muted, sir. You are muted.
If this story is accurate, again, this is my first time hearing it, seeing it. I normally try to wait for the information to come out, not speculation, but I'll deal with the speculation. If the speculation is that there was a stolen car, if it's speculation that 4 alleged suspects jumped out the car, if it's alleged that one had a gun, right? And the officer saw it and they decided to stop the threat, they are doing their job. If it's alleged that you can't, let me say something. You can't negotiate with guns. You, as a police officer, you can't negotiate with the gun. You see a gun, all it takes is seconds. You get 1 round off. Okay? Now, stolen car, suspects, gun, death, all they find is about it, he gets upset. Well, did he get upset about the car that was stolen? That his son was in? Speculation, allegedly, because I don't know. Okay? Did he get upset that his son had a gun? Huh? What was the raise for that? Again, speculation, allegation, I don't know. And was his anger misdirected? You damn right. So somebody else going to pay the price for something that happened to your son? and you don't have all the facts. Come on. Come on. You don't go out here and kill people because revenge without no plan. And I'm not advocating for violence, but Pops is wrong. That could have been, I don't even want to put myself into the equation. So I'm out here directing traffic. I'm just retired with the uniform on, and not even a police uniform, a traffic uniform. If he's retired, that's a traffic uniform. That's the police. I see a lot of citizens look like the police, have their colors and the uniform on, but they just directing traffic. Why? Because people know, or people may not know. If I run over this person, I run over the police. So you're gonna take him out? Man, he out of order. He wrong. If it happened the way they are reporting it, no, he wrong. It's two left shoes.
Man, Brother Juan J. Johnson. So you won't. So there are no exceptions for heartbreak. I get it. I understand.
No, it's not about exceptions. It's saying you have to be able to manage your anger and your frustration and get the facts. I mean, he just disregard the stolen car and the gun. So you're just going to allegedly, because I don't know, speculation. So you just as a father disregard the stolen car that you're in and the gun that you had because your son got killed. Man, that don't even sound right. Come on, man. What's the law of nature? What's the law of the streets? You get a gun. You got a gun.
You better be ready. Yeah.
You better use it. You got a gun. It's kill to be killed. If you're gonna produce the gun after a chase, man, you done. It's my life for your life. You done. Because you've already committed the crime. We're chasing you. The police are chasing a stolen vehicle, occupied 4 times. They bail out. And one of them gets behind a trash can and produces a gun. If that's the case, I don't know. But if that's the case, then I'm going to stop the threat mode easily, quick. And I'm putting that person down. I don't discriminate. Crime don't have gender. Criminals don't have genders. It's male or female. Or color, black or white. But it's a speculation. If it happened this way, he done. And the father is out of order.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, now listen. Objectively, you are 1,000% right. The father is out of order. I'm just sympathizing with the loss, but even in those moments, we have to have better and greater command of our emotions. Okay. Yeah, just going and mowing somebody down, that's out of pocket. You know. Let me go to Coke. Brother Coke, man. Coke, I know you've ran some people down back in your day after a couple shots of that Coke the sharp way. Sir. What say you?
Hey, I actually would like to agree with Lone Wolf on this one. Yeah, I gotta agree with Lone Wolf on this one. And the thing is that it's a part of me that don't want to agree, but then that would be me being no emotionally different than say that father was. You know, oh gosh, Lee, I know we amongst family. In some regard, we got to stop alley-ooping these white supremacists. This is the reason why they can go on the timeline with memes like "my baby didn't do nothing." You understand me? And this is the reason why they can go on the timeline and say things like, "See, these black folk have low impulse control." If you really gonna be targeted, go at your target. You understand what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, Juan would know better than me, but you don't get any points for shooting at somebody else's target. As a matter of fact, that would be a complete miss, even if you hit another target. I'll land on this. When the silverback gorilla want to head up fade, you can't go and attack Bubbles the monkey.
Right. Right, Coke. That's a fact. Salute the brother Coke. Salute the brother Coke. But brother Dr. Short, sir.
Put that question up, Brother Wolf. What about the boy being shot in the back?
Oh, this brother, brother Senwaki. Well,
what about that? He's a fleeing felon. There's nothing written in the police hand code that says you can't shoot somebody in the back. He's a fleeing felon. Now he's a danger to the community. What are you talking about? All this, you can't shoot somebody in the back. The hell, you can't shoot somebody in the back. What are you talking about? If you're a fleeing felon, if you're a danger to the community, you get shot in the back too. You have to face me to get shot? What are you talking about? Man, I teach this. You can shoot the person in the back. They're fleeing felon. Especially if they try to kill you or somebody you know, or they've already committed some type of act of serious bodily injury that can result in death, and they've already did the act. Come on, man. Well, this may be breaking news to some, but there's nothing that says you can't get shot in the back.
Well, this is what I didn't know. You can shoot people in the back. That's a fact. I didn't know that. I did not know that, sir.
If a person who's already committed an act of violence that could cause death or serious bodily injury, and now they're trying to escape, he gets shot in the back, or her. You stop the threat, because now the threat becomes a threat to the community. It just makes sense, right? And it'd be different if they just surrendered, but no, now they done shot or slashed or beat somebody, and now they're on the run. That's a fleeing felon who caused death, who could have caused death or serious bodily injury to somebody. That person needs to be stopped.
Well, let me go to my brother Dr. Short, because we're gonna get ready to wrap up here, sir. What say you, brother Dr. Short, if you're still there, about this subject matter here, having
okay. Hey, well, this is sort of where I have to go with my best friend, White Jesus. And White Jesus says the wages of sin is death. Now, you stole someone's car. I hope they didn't beat up or knock someone upside the head. We don't know how the car was taken. And I don't know enough about the case, but to me, especially if this boy didn't come up in a two-parent household, he could have run over the mother as well as the cop. Because that's where a lot of this mess starts. But I need to know more. And my sense of things is this. That Hamilton County police are notoriously racist and bigoted. The father may have known that guy's face. I'm not saying that makes anything right. But I've been following, like they've had near riots in Cincinnati that I'm aware of since the 90s. So they treat people really bad there. And they've got a big opioid problem that's killing white folks, but they've doubled down and stayed doubled down on black people. Cincinnati has a history of very bad policing and a lot of racism. It doesn't excuse getting the wrong person. But I'm wondering if the father's temporarily insane, Was that a split second reaction? But we don't know. We haven't heard from him. We haven't heard from his legal team. And so the same way I was fed a bunch of lies about Carmelo, if I had gone with what initially came out, he's just a ruthless, natural-born black killer. And it took a little while for the truth to filter out. And you'll find that racists often manipulate the news to get the first story out to vilify the black party, right? Nobody said whether this man worked, whether he had a job, that this kid had a juvenile record. We just know he's dead. And now his father's being accused of vehicular homicide. We need to know more. And I'm going to agree with other people, not to advocate violence, but you should get the right cracker. I hate the displacement of anger or rage. In fact, it's an act of cowardice. It's like the person that goes home from work and they beat the dog, the kids, the wife, and they're nasty and they're passive and sweet to everybody at the job. I know a lot of black people like that. They never hurt the people that hurt them. They hurt the people that love them. I have family members of whom I will not deal with anymore because you're nice to them and they take stuff out on you that has nothing to do with your relationship with them. And they feel entitled to that. The same way that black people become the escape hatch for white rage, where white people go out and lynch to do stuff and they're having a bad time, take it out on us. We have a criminal class or a non-coping class of black people who hurt us over the difficult time we're all having. And it's rare, even with dude having the wrong victim, that pain is sent back from which it was issued. So I'm not advocating anything other than my thought about the stories that you're seeing. In the case of in Georgia, I think the father did shoot the officer who shot his son. But I brought it up because I'm seeing a trend of blood for blood, that it's not a good thing. But at the same time, certain sorts of things that happen between police units or police divisions or whatever and communities are different based on who they're messing with. And so eventually word will get around that if you bother certain people, you could have a problem if you're unfair in how you treat people. But that doesn't make any of this stuff right. So we, excuse me, we should wait to get more detail to see. So I'm not going to run around and call this guy Django. I'm only going to say that we need to know more. And I agree with Lone Wolf. In fact, let's just go on the record. For me, I'm sick and tired of black criminality. I'm sick and tired of folks that won't attack the gorilla of white supremacy or the gorilla of wealth disparity, all these gorillas that we should be able to gang up on and take down. And we would rather mug our grandmothers, our grandfathers, our elders, bully people, steal folks' lunch money, terrorize people amongst us who are supposedly our people. And then we're nonviolent and loving with everybody that hates us. I'm sick of it. And more importantly, I believe in God. What's wrong with loving neighbor as self? Why couldn't those four guys buy a car? Why couldn't, I mean, there are all kinds of ways to get a vehicle. A lot of our people have become cheap, morally depleted. The ends justify the means, whether it's who folk are sleeping with, laying down with. Everything is about the moment. Everything is about individual pleasure, never about what's right or what's wrong. That's a godless, wicked, perverse generation. And as the scriptures say, the wages of sin is death. The paycheck for being wicked, stealing, lying, cheating, drug dealing, raping, pimping, trafficking, whoring, twerking, child molesting is death. And that doesn't change for color or class. I land my plane.
I will say this. We're definitely going to follow this thing and see what happens, what comes of the situation. But, it's definitely, hold on, I see something here. What's that? Oh, Coke.
Oh, Chef, did you get that Letitia James toy I sent you?
Yeah.
You need to post that, brother.
This guy crazy, man. Well, let me give your homegirl a little shine, Dr. Short. Let me give you, girl. Hold on. Let me see. Do I have it? Letitia James? Where's she at?
She's so big you can't miss her.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, I can't find it. I think I got shit. Okay. That's okay. The problem is I got a lot of new shit on here. That's
do you want me to send it to you?
I would say no, sir, because Letitia needs her own spotlight. That's what I think. I would say we'll do that on the next Pat Talk. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Give her the light that she deserves. Sir, let's get ready to break this thing down. Brother Dr. Short, sir, let them know what's happening with the Angry Black Man's Book Club and what we got shaking, and when's the next Saturday service, sir?
Well, we always do Sabbath sermons every Saturday, typically about 2:00 on the Angry Black Men's Book Club on YouTube. I know starting maybe tonight, we've been doing readings talking about Nazism and Christianity and white racism and black people. So I've been reading from different books showing how all these televangelists that you guys keep sowing a seed to when you won't invest in yourselves, how all these people are linked to the KKK and the Nazis, and they have a master plan to either keep black folks down and then more extreme groups want to wipe us out. So we're talking about Christian identity, Roy Davis, William Branham, and we're going to connect it to Take Dick's Cakes and a lot of other people, all these crooked black preachers that won't open their mouths when our people being wiped out, to show their connection to the Ku Klux Klan and the Nazi Party, believe it or not. And so that's what we're doing this week. So we'll be talking about this, race, Nazis, Nazism. Just check it out. But I have a couple of programs already. I'll be doing them. So I may do one tonight. Basically, what we do is we read and I share and discuss with people what these texts are saying. But people need to wake up, and anyone interested in learning about these books on the Ku Klux Klan, which is completely in all the churches, Paula White, all of them, Benny Hinn, Kenneth Copeland is a Klansman, all of these people, if you want details, there's stuff out there I'd be happy to share with you, point you to. There's some white boys within these groups and are now telling all the truth about how racist they are. In particular, in a nutshell, there's a whole theology that's hidden from us that scores of millions, they're talking about 20s of millions of white folks believe that Black American people and all other Black people come out of the nuts of the devil. We're the serpent seed. Basically, the devil gangbanged Eve in the Garden of Eden and created Cain, the father of Black people, a murderer and a godless person. And this is why they're against any improvement of the living conditions of black people because we're children of the devil who deserve to be destroyed, and they're children of God. So that's been our topic. I'm going to run this for maybe another week or two. And people can always email me at wrandyshort@gmail.com, wrandyshort@gmail.com, WRANDYSHORT@gmail.com. And I can send you book cover copies and so forth so you can get your own books, build up your libraries. And also we do Black classic reading. So scholars like E. Franklin Frazier, Charles S. Johnson, just reading what these people were saying about issues like we've been reading from the Black family or the Negro family in the United States by Frazier, and also reading people like David Walker, his appeal, and all this kind of stuff. So there's a combination between looking at where the crackers are and also hearing from classic literature of our thinkers and scholars. So that's what I try to do. And also, I just want everybody to say a prayer for our patron saint. One day she's going to come to Pat Talk. Sister Jaguar Wright, I can't wait. Looking forward to that. And everybody, keep your fingers crossed for the Diddy trial. I believe it's going to open up a whole lot of cans of worms that needed to be opened. And other than that, Chef C, tell the people, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the Angry Black Men's Book Club. And you can always check out the videos. There's always something. So there are a couple hundred up there. You'll have a good time. And that's it. Peace.
All right, no doubt. Brother Short, real quick, before you go, do you know what time you going live tonight?
Well, let me see. What time is it now? It is 3 something. I'm thinking within reason, I should probably go 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I may like take, and actually, this is the thing I'm thinking doing is since it's a Sunday, most people don't know that Jim Jones, that had all the black people killed in South America, was ordained by Ku Klux Klansmen. And it's, even though he claimed to be a Marxist and all, they still end up killing black people. On the left and on the right, these people hate our guts. And so, yeah, Jim Jones was ordained by a racist white dude who was trained by, who was a Klansman, by another pedophile, drunkard, bigamous Klansman. And these people involved in all kinds of things, even Black Wall Street. Part of why there was a massacre of black people there is connected to the man who ordained Jim Jones. How about that? And so there's a continual thing. So we're looking at this whole thing on fake Anglo-American Christianity, basically white Nazism masquerading as, in the name of Jesus, instead of in the name of Hitler. Okay? So I think 8 o'clock, I should be up and kicking something out.
Okay. 8 p.m. Angry Black Man's Book Club. Y'all go check out Brother Dr. Short. Brother Dr. Short said Nazi like 3 times in a row, and that shit took one of my other platforms off.
Yeah, they took me down just now.
They took you down too. See, Brother Short gonna get our shit snatched.
Out of Twitter.
Yeah, well, let me go back to Brother Coke, sir. Any your final words, man? We're about to get ready to shut it down and get up out of here, sir.
I put the final word up in the chat. If you wouldn't mind bringing that up for a tick, sir.
Oh, okay.
And this is a testament to why panels and cooks and scholars and gentlemen like yourselves and myself are so important. Can you bring up that link there, Chef C, to see? And it happened so fast. You know, they want you to turn the blind eye on, but within a matter of 48 hours, what do we have here on the screen, Chef C?
Well, well, you share with us, sir, because you brought it to my
Right.
attention here, sir.
Help us seek justice for a 5-year-old facing racial hate, sponsored by the NAACP. And you know, what's that number? That the number's so smart. What's the number say, Chef? Is that $300? What does that say that they've raised so far?
Yeah, it looks like $300, $300,000.
$341,000. They raised the money so fast they had to disable and make the campaign private. This has all happened within the past 36 to 48 hours. And see, the crazy part about it is, not only is that not a Black American, this is why Black Americans need to delineate, y'all. Because see, the NAACP has gone out. You can go to their website right now, and they will talk about nothing but immigration. See, they use the Somali that use Black American hurt and pain and history, and everybody's grifting off our backs. Because if you think that that money is going to the Black American community, you also think that money is going to the Somali community. This is the NAACP we talk about here. So you see,
well, sir, I knew the jokes was in as soon as I saw that fundraiser, NAACP. I said, okay, it's a jokes. As soon as it came through, because did we hear anything from the NAACP about our brother Carmelo?
Not a peep.
Yeah, I rest my case. I rest my case.
And this is why I appreciate you, gentlemen. Why, you know, amongst a sea of noise, you all are the signal. And I land.
Salute to our brother Coke Sharpton, man. Appreciate you for checking in, man, and bringing this to light right here. Listen, for all my Black Americans, I believe the Anthony family is still looking for some contributions. I think their thing is still up. Go over there and put your money there. Okay? Do I condone the racial slurs? No, but this is a Somali kid. It's nothing wrong with delineating. You know, it's Black when you need something, and it's Black when some shit is going wrong. It's never Black when you're celebrating anything. Black American, more specifically. Okay? So, yeah, the Carmelo campaign, I believe that may still be up. If not, keep your money.
Hey, Chef, I don't want to hear no excuses for donating to this platform. Salute to Sister Star and all of the ones that stomped down. Look, Chef C need to hire Chef C. Go get your firearms training from Lone Wolf. But all of that Black folk don't know how to collectivize into one big nigga wallet and all that. That I don't want to hear that no more. That leave that in 2020. Folk got it. And we know how. We just need some help in directing it. That's all. We just need some help in directing where it go. Well, we got it though. We can collectivize. So we just need to learn to collectivize in the right thing.
Right. That part. Salute to our brother Coach Sharpton, man. Most definitely. Salute to the brother. Brother Wolf, sir. Brother Juan J. Johnson. You know what? Hold on. Before I even go to you, sir. You know what time it is.
Stack you hard, fool.
Yes, indeed, our brother Juan J. Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, brother Juan, any final words from you, sir? And of course, let them know how they can get a hold of Juan J. Johnson, sir. You got the flow.
I need you to go to lwftraining.com. That's lwftraining.com. Sign up. If you can't come to me, go to anybody who's a certified gun instructor so that you become responsible gun owners, gun users. I'm always asked the question, have you considered a rifle? Have you considered a shotgun? Have you considered a semi-automatic handgun? Have you considered a revolver? Because you need to embrace your Second Amendment. The Second Amendment is not a suggestion, it's a right. The right to bear arms. Indeed, I enjoyed this broadcast. If you got any questions for me, just go to lwftraining.com, leave me a message, or just go to Lone Wolf Firearms on YouTube or on Twitter, or my name, Juan J. Johnson. Just leave me a message. I'll get with you. Again, you'll see me doing these Pat Talks, but I still want you to become responsible gun owners, gun users, because we live in an evil world, and it's time out for projecting our goodness onto folks who wouldn't spit on you if you was on fire. And this is not me advocating no type of violence. Just I need you to all to become responsible gun owners, gun users, for your family, for yourselves, possibly for your city, maybe your county, for the state, and maybe the nation. That's why you are the militia. We are the militia. So, and I'll land my plane with that.
Definitely, man. Salute to our brother Juan J. Johnson. LWF Training, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I want to thank everybody for tapping in and staying with us for this entire time. That was a longer broadcast than intended, ladies and gentlemen, but you stayed. So, with that being said, man, I really want to thank all of y'all for checking in. If you didn't know, now you know. I am your host, Chef C from New Jersey. This is our partner broadcast, Pat Talk, to be more specific, with our brothers here. Just give you our perspective on what a heterosexual man, the way we look at things through our light, individual thoughts. No echo chamber action going on over here. But I also want to encourage you all, ladies and gentlemen, to go to my alternate platform, The Cook Up with Chef C. You're looking to get your skills together for the summer, y'all. You're trying to do some fly stuff. I got you covered. We're pretty close. I think we have reached the number of subscriptions we need, but send some more folks over there. I'm going to start going live. Get y'all right for the summer so you can be spinning a block and doing what you got to do, family. You're going to learn a lot of stuff. Ingredient list will be in the comment or the community section of that channel. I won't be giving no measurements, though. So just get your ingredients and you'll be able to cook up with your boy. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to that. I am a Michelin trained chef, so I'll get y'all right for the summer and any other occasion in the future. You dig? Again, I want y'all to also know that today's broadcast and season 2 of On That Next is brought to you by Bloodline Films in collaboration with our brother Juan J. Johnson, LWF Training. And he wants you all to know that there is a lone wolf in all of you. So definitely go check our brother Juan J. Johnson out, man. Definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, what we found here today is that racism is still very live and well. Regardless of what people want to tell you, I don't see color. What the hell if they don't? This system, the very existence of this system, requires that you identify and acknowledge the differences in color. That's where the power comes from. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for joining us here today. Salute to my sponsor, all right, Brother ABM, and my other co-sponsor, Sister Carla, for putting on. And I also want to thank our contributor as well today, my brother Nico. Salute to you, brother Nico, for helping us keep the cook up going, keeping that exhaust fan rolling for today's service, sir. All right. Now, one final thing, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, in a system of white degeneracy, you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. My name is Chef C, and I'm out of here. Salute to all of y'all that's checked in with us. Peace, family. Catch you on the next side.